Everyone must eventually pay for their own greed. But when it's the greed of those in power, it's the innocent who pay the price. Attention, citizens. Large-scale riots have broken out across the country. All citizens are urged to stay indoors and lock your doors. The Republic of Korea government will... But is this really a riot? No, this is something far worse. This is a catastrophe. The world has lost all order, and those of us caught inside it are fighting with everything we have to escape this hell, to survive as human beings. Seoul, South Korea, government building. Kim Sung-jin stands at the entrance to a conference room being patted down. He thinks to himself, never did I imagine I'd be frisked by agents from the National Intelligence Service. Whoever is watching over this project must be someone very important. He's already drenched in sweat before he even steps inside. He takes a breath and pushes through. The conference room is nearly empty. Just 3 people seated inside. And yet those 3 people, the president's advisor, Professor Han Suk-tae, the president's aide, General Chae Yang-gyun, and the shadowy kingmaker who had put 3 presidents in power, Director Yoon Jong-ryol. While Sung-jin is still reeling from shock, Jong-ryol speaks first. Let's begin. Sung-jin pulls himself together and starts his briefing. The vessel in question was intercepted by Sokcho Coast Guard on July 3rd. Every Coast Guard officer who boarded to search it was attacked by the creatures. There were no survivors. But let me pause the summary there. Jong-ryol interrupts. I hear you've prepared footage. Let's see it first. Sung-jin pulls up the video. This footage contains findings about the creatures that have never been reported before. The footage ends. Sung-jin speaks. For ease of reference, we've designated these creatures as zombies. The operation has been named after the vessel's registration number, Project 8208, 3 months earlier. Inside a restaurant, a news bulletin played on the TV. Breaking news, in the Georgian city of Aptiknaya, near the Russian border, a massive explosion has occurred. The resulting fire has spread as far as Adler, Russia. At a nearby table, a group of tattooed thugs were drinking loudly, drowning out everything else. One of them jeered, "Soldiers don't mean a thing when Manbiopa's around." The others cheered in agreement. Nearby, a guy they called sheriff was there sending off a friend about to enlist, and the moment he heard that, his blood was already boiling. He was half out of his seat, ready to put those thugs in their place. A friend grabbed his arm. "Hey, don't. Today's the day Jinyu enlists. Just let it slide." Another chimed in. "Yeah, if you start trouble today, Jinyu's the one who suffers." Jinyu's eyes lit up. "Does that mean I get out of enlisting?" Sam Sick shot that down immediately. "Not a chance." Then he pointed at the TV. "Wait, it's Pink Punch." They all turned. A girl group performance was playing on screen. They were in the middle of arguing over who was the prettiest when, crash, a loud bang made everyone look. A hulking man glared at a restaurant employee. "What do you think you're going to do about Myung-gu's shirt? Are you blind?" The employee bowed frantically. "I'm so sorry. I'll cover the dry cleaning, I promise. And the emotional distress fee on top of that," the man snarled. The employee trembled. What do you want me to do?" The man grabbed the employee's wrist with a crooked grin. "Come sit right here. I'll show you exactly what to do." Smack. Sheriff seized the man's wrist and forced him to release the employee. "That's enough. There are people." Before he could finish, the man swung a heavy slap. "Enough? You watch too many movies. Real life doesn't..." He never got to finish either. Sheriff's fist sent him flying. He hit the floor and didn't move. The thugs leapt to their feet, shouting. One stepped up to Sheriff. "You have any idea what kind of trouble you just bought yourself?" Sheriff gave him a sideways look. "Do I need to?" A brawl was about to break out. Then Myung-gu's voice cut through the tension. "Why are so many of you ganging up on one kid?" But he slipped off his jacket, revealing the stained shirt, and said calmly, "That doesn't mean a debt goes unpaid." He leaned in close to Sheriff. "Any last words, kid?" Sheriff smiled. "Actually, yeah. Take this." He snapped a kick at Myung-gu's head. Myung-gu sidestepped it effortlessly. In one motion, Myung-gu grabbed Sheriff by the collar, slammed him to the ground, and drove a fist into his face. But Sheriff swung back at the same moment. Myung-gu abandoned his attack and dodged to the side, giving Sheriff a chance to break free. Myung-gu snatched a beer bottle and swung it hard. Sheriff threw up his arm to block and kept throwing punches. Police sirens wailed outside. One of Myung-gu's men urged, "The cops are here. Let's pull back." Myung-gu backed off and turned to leave. Over his shoulder, he delivered a cold warning. "Don't let me see your face again. Next time you're dead." Sheriff fired back without missing a beat. "No, you stay out of my sight, because next time I'll break you." At the enlistment checkpoint, Sheriff and the others were there to see Jinyu off. Jinyu was visibly moved. "Thank you all for coming, really. You're the only ones who would." His friends piled on the advice. "Stay healthy, okay? Keep working out in there." Only Sam Sick cut through the heavy mood. "Hey, you can still call from in there. When you get leave, let's all go to the beach." "Deal. See you then." They made that promise with smiles on their faces. But the day they were supposed to go to the beach never came. 3 months later, just days before his leave. "Attention, this is the Korea Coast Guard. Your vessel is suspected of illegal activity and unauthorized entry into territorial waters. All crew were ordered to stop the vessel immediately and move to the deck." After receiving no response, the Coast Guard conducted a forced boarding. "This is search team. We are now boarding the vessel. Beginning search. Over. Copy. This is search team. Cabins are clear. Copy. Proceed to the cargo hold. Full sweep. Over." The officers pushed deeper into the ship. One of them, exhausted, pulled off his helmet. "Man, why is tonight so rough?" He cracked open a hatch and peered down into the dark. His partner called over, "Chief Kim, anything down there?" Chief Kim was about to say no. Then his flashlight swept across the darkness. A man drenched in blood appeared less than a meter from his face. Chief Kim screamed, screamed. His partner rushed over and hauled him up, only to find a figure with its teeth sunk deep into Chief Kim's arm. "What the hell is that thing? Pull it off him!" "I can't. It won't let go." The team fell into chaos. One officer shouted, "Everyone back," and swung his rifle at the zombie. The zombie finally let go. "Chief Kim, are you alright?" But Chief Kim just covered his face and screamed. With no other option, they radioed in. "Command, this is search team. We are confronting an unidentified hostile, requesting authorization for live fire." Without warning, the figure lunged and sank its teeth into another officer. A single gunshot rang out. The figure dropped. The radio crackled to life. "Search team, this is command. We heard a shot. Was that one of ours?" An officer replied. "Affirmative, we engaged. Full report on return out." One of the team members asked, "Is Chief Kim alright?" The officer supporting him replied, "The wound is deep. We need a medic on standby. We have to get back immediately." He turned to Chief Kim. "Just hold on." Before he could finish, Chief Kim bit down and severed his finger clean off. Then he hurled himself at the others. Screams tore through the night, echoing across the open sea. The footage ends. Jong Ryol asks, "Have you traced the vessel's origin?" Sung Jin replies, "It's an unregistered ship, nationality unconfirmed. Based on the damage, it likely drifted in from nearby waters." Jong Ryol's expression turns grim. The fact that it could move like that with half its body missing, that's terrifying. Confirmed human? Yes. The National Forensic Service performed a full autopsy. Organs and genetic makeup completely human. But it wasn't breathing. The room goes dead silent. That means they can function without lungs, without a heart. Seoktae speaks up, "This is a goldmine. If we crack the mechanism, we could replace lungs and hearts entirely. Rather than releasing everything at once, we roll it out gradually. That's how you squeeze out every last drop of profit." Jong Ryol grins. "A specimen this priceless, landing right in our hands. It seems our nation's fortune is truly turning." But then his smile fades. After watching that footage, there's a flaw that can't be ignored. Has that aspect been studied? Sung Jin's pulse spikes. "Yes. As you've noted, it is contagious. Preliminary findings show the creature's saliva produces enzymes and bacteria. When these enter another person's bloodstream, the cells begin to mutate." Seoktae brightens. "So the transmission rate is even lower than HIV. What about the reverse scenario?" Sung Jin hesitates. "Reverse? Meaning?" Seoktae's voice drops dark. "If a human bites or consumes one of the mutants, what happens?" Sung Jin is caught completely off guard. "That hasn't been investigated yet." Seoktae's composure cracks. "How could you miss that test? Your team drops the ball and you just let it slide?" Jong Ryol raises a hand. "Calm down, the samples are ready. Running the experiment shouldn't be a problem." He turns to Sung Jin. "Dr. Kim, we should have that report by end of this week, yes?" Cold sweat runs down Sung Jin's back. He doesn't want to agree, but he has no choice. "Understood." Jong Ryol nods. "Now it's time to see the specimen itself. It should be ready." Sung Jin confirms. Sung Jin gestures toward the wall behind the group. "Please, turn around." The marble wall slowly parts, revealing a glass chamber within. All three men spin around and scramble to their feet. The former Coast Guard officers are inside, covered in blood, shrieking, every trace of human reason gone from their eyes. The moment they spot Jong Ryol and the others, they hurl themselves at the glass like animals. The three men stagger back. Sung Jin steps forward and taps the barrier. "Relax. That's 15-centimeter thick reinforced acrylic glass, and the oxygen concentration inside is below 10%. Jong Ryol strokes his chin. "They move around without oxygen and don't feel any pain. All very nice, but they seem to lack the intellect. Can those things shoot a gun? That would be difficult." Jong Ryol thinks it over. "Even without firearms, that doesn't rule out tactical value. You've run combat simulations, I assume." "Yes, sir. We simulated the release of the mutants into a modern urban setting, using a 24-hour observation cycle. We found that in small cities with under 100,000 people, the infection rates for the first 3 days were 2%, 17%, and 34% respectively. Following the third day, the rate of increase began to level off. We suspect countermeasures have been implemented. So the priority is to cut off information sharing." Seoktae interjected. "And what about the major cities?" "In major cities, the infection rates for the first 3 days were 47%, 64%, and 70%. Compared to smaller cities, the higher population density and mobility drive a much sharper spike," Kang Myung-gu says slowly. "If that's the case, this could become a strategic weapon beyond anything nuclear. Are there weaknesses? Only destruction of the brain stops them. Temperatures below negative 55 degrees Celsius will also halt their movement." Yang Gyun raises an eyebrow. "Sounds like they can be controlled." He fixes his gaze on Sung Jin. "You have 2 years to develop a vaccine that prevents mutation." Back in the transport vehicle, Sung Jin's mind is still in turmoil. Then suddenly, the truck lurches to a stop. Black sedans close in from all sides. A man steps out of one of them, unhurried. "It's starting to rain," he says flatly. "Wrap this up." This is Kang Myung-gu, the third in command of Mandiopa. The driver gets out to check and discovers a vehicle immobilizer net beneath the truck. His gut sinks. They came for this truck specifically. He reaches for the radio. A club cracks him across the back of the head. He crumples. Myung-gu flicks away a cigarette. "Take the cargo, deal with the rest." His men swarm forward. The road erupts into chaos, men trading blows in every direction. The escort team pours out of their vehicles. The team leader points to one of his men. "You, radio for backup. Everyone else prepare to fire." "Copy." The words barely leave his mouth when a bullet punches through his brow. Then Myung-gu appears from nowhere and drops the team leader with one punch. The remaining officers raise their weapons, only to find Myung-gu using the team leader's corpse as a human shield. He's insane. Inside one of the sedans, a middle-aged man watches the chaos outside with amusement, watching Myung-gu weave between the bullets. Moving like lightning, just look at him. The man in the front seat doesn't respond, and instead turns around. "Boss, what exactly required your personal involvement?" The man lights a cigarette. "Chairman Huang of Taiyang Group, you know him. Yesterday his secretary contacted me, said to get what's in that truck by any means necessary." The front seat man's expression shifts. "Chairman Chairman Hwang, the most powerful conglomerate owner in South Korea, and the man who helped Manhwa go nationwide. The front seat man pushes further, so what's actually in the truck? That Chairman Hwang wants it this badly. The man takes a slow drag. Knowing too much isn't good for you. Outside, the fighting is over. One of Myung-gu's men approaches. We've secured the truck, but he points to the digital lock on the cargo door. This is no ordinary truck. Myung-gu has no idea what to make of it. The whole crew is at a dead end, until another man drags Sung-jin over. Found this one hiding in the passenger seat. Sung-jin immediately drops to his knees, begging. Nobody pays his pleading any attention. One of the men grabs his ID badge and reads it. Boss, this guy's from the National Defense Research Institute. Myung-gu's lips curl into a cold smile. Perfect. He grabs Sung-jin by the collar. What's the access code? Sung-jin's voice shakes. I don't know. It's top-level clearance. Only senior officials. Myung-gu snorts. Top-level clearance. Then he backhands him across the face. Blood pours from Sung-jin's mouth. I'm asking one more time. What is the code? Sung-jin trembles. You can't open that door. What's inside? He doesn't get to finish. Another backhand. The other side of his face now streaming blood. Sung-jin covers his face with both hands, voice cracking. Please, don't take what's inside. It's incredibly dangerous. You have no idea what you're dealing with. Myung-gu stares down at him, eyes like ice. You'd better worry about yourself before you spare a thought for anyone else. And let me be clear. Don't think for a second I'll let you walk away from this. Sung-jin's last wall crumbles. His face goes ashen. 601864. Myung-gu, it's open. Just then, an out-of-place voice cuts through the air. Hey, Myung-gu, what's taking you so long? Waiting for the cops? Everyone turns. It's the man who had been sitting in the front seat of the sedan. He pulls open the cards in unison. This is Choi Seung-ho, the second in command of Manhwa. Seung-ho passes Myung-gu and leans in close. Do things properly, Myung-gu. You really can't get anything done without me, can you? He pulls open the cargo door and steps inside. What's in here that warrants a National Intelligence Service escort? Whatever Chairman Hwang wants this badly, knowing about it can only be an advantage. He waves away the blast of cold air that hits him. A refrigerated unit? What in the? His flashlight clicks on, his pupils blow wide. A frozen zombie is right in front of him. What the? Is that a corpse? Don't tell me the other crates are the same. He turns to check and doesn't notice the zombie twitch behind him. He grumbles as he checks. These people are out of their minds. What does Chairman Hwang want with a bunch of corpses? A voice from outside calls. Boss, we need to move. Seung-ho snaps back. Stop rushing me. Do you know how bad it gets if we grab the wrong thing? But he turns to leave anyway and comes face to face with a zombie staring straight at him. So it really isn't just a corpse. What is this? Cryogenic preservation. The zombie lunges. But Seung-ho is the second in command of Manhwa. He sidesteps the attack without effort. He raises his phone and slams it into the zombie's face. Standing over it, he snarls, how's that? You're dealing with Choi Seung-ho, second in command of Manhwa. Choi Seung-ho, crunch. His cool moment lasts all of 3 seconds. Another zombie clamps its jaws onto his thigh. Outside, one of the men says nervously, he's been in there a while. Should someone go check? Myung-gu has a cigarette dangling from his lips. Don't bother. Why go in there just to get humiliated? Leave it. But the others hear sounds of a struggle from inside and start pounding on the door. No response. They wrench it open and find Seung-ho slumped on the floor of the cargo hold covered in blood, one arm weakly reaching out for help. A bald crew member leaps in, kicks the zombie away, then pulls out a pocket knife and drives it into the zombie's chest. He turns around. What are you standing there for? Get Seung-ho out of here. But the crew just stares at something behind him. What the hell are you all? Before he finishes, the zombie he just stabbed through the heart stands back up and bites down on his shoulder. The other zombies awaken and pour shrieking out of the cargo hold. The crew snaps to their senses and scrambles for weapons. Only Myung-gu walks toward the zombies, expression dark. Doesn't matter what you are. Mess with our crew and you're finished. He reaches the zombie tearing at the bald man and drives his boot into its neck. Blood sprays. Myung-gu watches in shock as the zombie continues to gnaw at the bald man. Even with its neck crushed like that, it's still biting? What a blow to my pride. He tightens his grip on his kukri and takes the zombie's head clean off. A shout from behind. Boss, behind you! Myung-gu twists sideways, dodging 2 zombies lunging at him. Stabbed dozens of times and still moving. What are you things? You just won't die. He shoves the zombie's head down hard. The skull cracks against the concrete and the zombie wobbles back to its feet. Myung-gu lets out a short, furious laugh. Interesting, blades don't work either, so how did that last one go down? He thinks back. Was it the head? Another zombie charges. Myung-gu sweeps its legs and stomps down on its skull. The zombie's head slams heavily onto the ground, blood pooling instantly. Yet it continues to howl, clawing at the earth in an attempt to crawl back up. Myung-gu thinks he might have guessed wrong. Still not dead? Incredible. But after a few more thrashes, the zombie finally goes still. Myung-gu exhales. Got it. Looks like taking the head is the only way to be sure. He sidesteps another zombie's charge and snaps a kick into its knee. While it goes down, he picks up a steel pipe and strolls toward the zombie. I'll give you this. You all stick together, don't you? Even with one leg shattered, the zombie drags itself upright and lurches toward him. Myung-gu swings without mercy. The other knee buckles. Both legs gone, the zombie crumbles to the ground yet keeps shrieking, still trying to rise. He brings the pipe down on its neck. It still doesn't stop. A broken neck changes nothing? Alright, end of the line. He flips the pipe and points the sharp end at the zombie's skull. Stopped. Don't move. At the last second, a black van pulls up and blocks his path. The man in the back seat rolls down the window. Being hot-blooded is good, kid, but leave at least one alive or we don't get the rest of our payment. Myung-gu glances at his fallen men and says nothing. Hey, Myung-gu, why aren't you answering? Myung-gu finally responds, handle it however you want, I'll take care of my men. The man's expression sours. What kind of attitude is that? As he watches Myung-gu walk away, the man grins. Cold as ever. He points at the ground, at the one zombie still alive. Deal with that first. Chairman Huang has probably already run out of patience. He casually polishes his ring. How's Director Choi? One of the men replies, unconscious. Probably blood loss. The man sighs in exasperation. Unbelievable. He had to go and open that door. Get him to a hospital now. Yes, boss. Another man knocks on the car window. Boss. Cargo's loaded. The man nods. Good. Move out. Everyone else, clean up the scene. Yes, boss. The convoy drives off. One of the crew grumbles to Myung-gu. Our guys are dead or hurt, and all he can think about is money. Myung-gu gives him a look. Less talk. Get moving. Clear the scene and bring our guys back. Everything else goes on the truck and burns. The man deflates. Got it. Myung-gu pats him on the shoulder. Once this is done, take the crew out for a drink. I need to go pay my respects to the brothers we've lost. Suddenly a voice cuts through the somber mood. Myung-gu, there's someone still alive over here. They turn to look. A figure staggers to its feet, chest soaked in blood. A nearby crew member lights up. Taejik! Myung-gu feels something is wrong. Could it be? But the crew member runs in and hugs Taejik tight. I thought you were dead. He starts pulling him toward the car. The moment they turn away, Myung-gu roars. Let go of him. Now. The crew member freezes, confused. Before he can react, Taejik bites down on his shoulder. A scream rings out and the crowd comes rushing over. What happened? Chil-sung got bitten. Myung-gu launches himself forward, drives a knee into Taejik's chest and knocks him back. His mind is racing. He turned just like those things. Why? Is it contagious? Then another voice. Boss, the ones we lost are getting back up. Over there too. Every single person killed by the zombies has risen. All of them. Now zombies themselves. Myung-gu spins around and barks, everyone in the car. We're leaving. Move. A crew member pulls a car up. Boss, over here. Myung-gu vaults in. Go. Now. Chil-sung, still being torn at by zombies, screams out, take me with you, please. Myung-gu looks at him and lets out a helpless breath. Drive. The driver says, boss, there are more ahead. Drive through them. Got it. The driver floors it, ramming straight into the zombies. The impact doesn't clear them. Instead, a zombie smashes straight through the windshield. Myung-gu shouts from the back seat, hey, can't you see the building ahead? Turn the wheel. But the zombie is blocking the driver's entire view. He can't see a thing. Myung-gu frantically buckles his seatbelt. The car slams into a wall at full speed. Myung-gu coughs and opens his eyes, face covered in blood. A sharp pain sears through his shoulder. Damn it, that's probably broken. He limps out of the wreck. Then, out of nowhere, he bursts out laughing. Ha! Fine then. If this is how the night goes, let's see it through. He reaches for his waist and remembers his kukri is still lodged in that zombie's neck. Of all the things to forget, this is going to be a long night. 3:30 in the morning. An alarm tears through the Gangseo water treatment plant, jolting workers out of their sleep. Researcher Lim Soo-jin drags herself out of bed, yawning. An alarm at this hour? She hurries downstairs. She runs into a group of security guards. Excuse me, I heard the alarm. Is there a problem with the water treatment? The guard points to a fire in the distance. No, it's the perimeter wall. Looks like someone drove into it. Soo-jin looks over. Someone is trying to climb over the wall. Guards on the other side shout a warning. This is restricted property. Stop right there. Keep this up and we're calling the police. But Myung-gu climbs over anyway, as if he can't hear them, and hits the ground hard. Soo-jin figures it's not a water issue and turns to leave, then sees two guards in the distance, already knocked out cold. Myung-gu picks up one of their expandable batons and walks slowly toward the remaining guards. The guard Soo-jin had been speaking to draws his weapon. Freeze! Take one more step and I shoot. Myung-gu keeps walking. The guard raises his gun, ready to fire. You asked for this. Before he can pull the trigger, Myung-gu bursts forward in a single stride and knocks him out cold. Soo-jin bolts. Just as she's about to slam the door shut, click, Myung-gu wedges the baton into the gap. But his body is wrecked. His left arm is broken. He doesn't have the strength to force the door open. They're locked in a standoff at the door. Myung-gu sinks to the ground and speaks. If this keeps up, we're both going to die here. And honestly, dying would be the lucky way out. Because if those things get to us, we won't be so fortunate as to just die. Open the door right now, and I swear I won't hurt you. I'll even protect you from those things. Soo-jin has no idea what he's talking about, and she has absolutely no reason to trust him. Myung-gu lets out a quiet laugh. Don't believe me? That's fine. But opening this door is your only option either way. Because not far behind him, zombies are already closing in. The moment Soo-jin spots them, her mind changes in an instant. She pulls Myung-gu inside and ties the door handle shut with rope. In the kitchen, Myung-gu tends to his wounds. Soo-jin demands, what are those things out there? I don't know. Tonight's the first time I've ever seen them too. Now come help me wrap this. As Soo-jin wraps a bandage around his wound, she asks, you at least know something, right? Kang Myung-gu answers flatly, all I know is, those things never quit. Don't count on staying put and surviving. He reaches for a knife from the rack. The moment she sees him grab the knife, Soo-jin tenses up and turns toward the door. Where are you going? The duty room. I'm getting a phone to call the police. That's not a great idea, Myung-gu says calmly. Soo-jin spins around. Why? Got something to hide? He doesn't get angry, just explains calmly. Anyone bitten by those things becomes one of them. Even if you call the cops, if they're bitten, you're just adding to the enemy's numbers. numbers. Can you handle that? Soo-jin's confidence visibly deflates. Then warn them in advance. Myung-gu lets out a short laugh. And say what exactly? Officer, there are monsters running around with their guts hanging out. And if they bite you, you turn into one too? You think they'd believe that? Then what do you suggest we do? Soo-jin frowns, frustrated. You've done nothing but shoot me down since the start. Crack. The sound of shattering glass cuts her off. She snaps to attention. What was that? Did something break through the front door? No, Myung-gu says. The lock on the reinforced glass door would give out first. That wasn't the lock. Is there anything on the ground floor that isn't reinforced glass? Soo-jin thinks for a moment. The back windows, just regular glass. Myung-gu hands her the expandable baton. That's gotta be it. Here, this'll serve you better than a knife. She stares at it, frozen. Don't worry, he adds. I'm not asking you to fight, just in case. If we run into any of them, I'll buy you time to get out. The two head toward the stairwell. Soo-jin glances at his leg. Hey, you're limping. Should we take the elevator? No, Myung-gu says immediately. Opening it is too risky. And from now on, don't make a sound unless absolutely necessary. Soo-jin nods repeatedly. They creep up the stairs. Then a motion sensor light flickers on above them. Myung-gu stiffens. Something's up there. He raises his knife, readying himself. Sure enough, a zombie lunges from above, jaws snapping straight at him. But Myung-gu is already one step ahead. He sidesteps smoothly and drives the blade clean through the zombie's throat. Soo-jin claps both hands over her mouth to stifle a scream. Is it dead? She whispers. Myung-gu lights a cigarette. Get back to the kitchen. Don't slow me down. He turns to face the zombies now climbing in through the window. He figures he needs somewhere more open to fight them off. Myung-gu slashes at one's neck, but the cut is too shallow. The zombie scrambles back up and lunges again. Myung-gu drops low and slices at its legs, then catches it in a chokehold while kicking a second zombie clear across the room. One clean slash, a head rolls. But in that same moment, Soo-jin screams. A zombie is diving straight at her. Myung-gu snaps his head around. Hit its legs now! Soo-jin steals herself and slams the baton into the zombie's legs. It loses balance and crashes right into her. The zombie claws back to its feet, mouth wide open, lunging for her throat. When Myung-gu's blade comes down on its skull, it goes still. Soo-jin has been knocked unconscious by the impact. Myung-gu carries her back to the kitchen and sets her down gently. When the door erupts with pounding fists, he lets out a long sigh. Can't even catch my breath. He opens the refrigerator door. This is what it takes to get me in the game, huh? He cuts the power to the refrigerator, lays Soo-jin inside and tucks some clothes over her. Just hang on till morning. He turns to face the horde now pouring in and stops. One face in the crowd makes his chest tighten. Chil-sung, you turn too. His jaw sets. I'll make it quick. He shoves a food cart straight into the horde. While they're off balance, Myung-gu ends Chil-sung with a single strike. Then he charges into the mass, severing an arm with one slash, reversing his grip and cutting down another, then plunging back in. Finally, every zombie that stormed the kitchen is down. Myung-gu lights a cigarette with exhausted hands. He takes one drag, then leans down and sets it gently between Chil-sung's lips. Then he walks away. Myung-gu limps toward the exit, turning over Kim Sung-jin's words in his head. Did that researcher know all along these things were in there? And Choi Song-ho, for all he knows, Song-ho might be. He steps outside. Dawn is breaking, and a light rain begins to fall. He pulls out his shattered phone and sighs. Can't find out what's going on now. If only I still had a working phone. Then he spots a small group nearby. One of them is wearing a police armband. He drops his knife and walks over. He raises his right hand in greeting. Hey, I was wondering. The words die in his throat. We're all zombies. Every single one. Just how many people have turned? He mutters in disbelief. Over at the construction site, Sheriff and Yubin are chatting as they work. Guys! Sam-sik's voice calls out from behind. They turn around. Sam-sik is holding up a letter with a big grin. Check it out. Jin-yu wrote to us. They drop everything and run over. They tear it open. Knew that guy would pull something like this. Yubin, you see this? He says he likes Jenny even more now that he's in the army. Yubin seethes. Park Jin-yu, you traitor. Wait, what's a sharpshooter? Someone who's really good with a rifle? Oh yeah, probably, Sam-sik says. Jin-yu was always pretty good at shooting in games too. Real life isn't a video game, Sheriff laughs. He probably just got lucky. The three of them head inside, still chatting. Inside, Sheriff spots the guy in purple loitering nearby. That new kid is slacking off again. He marches over. Hey, new guy, what are you staring at? The guy in purple jumps. Sheriff snatches the phone right out of his hands. Hand it over. Something that good looking on your screen better not be anything dirty. Sam-sik and Yubin crowd in curious. They tap play. Noksapyeong Station. Total gridlock. Dozens of cars smashed into each other. Blood soaking the pavement. Zombies swarming defenseless civilians. People running, screaming, begging for help. Howls, shrieks, and desperate cries all tangled together. A symphony straight out of hell. All four of them stare at the screen, chilled to the bone. Sam-sik breaks into a cold sweat. Guys, are those people biting other people? Sheriff looks at the guy in purple. Is this a movie trailer? Pretty realistic. The guy grabs his phone back. This is real footage from Noksapyeong Station. Actual zombie footage. It happened this morning. You seriously haven't seen it? All three answer at once. No. The guy in purple scoffs. Typical. Talking to you guys is a complete waste of time. What did you just say? Sheriff snaps. Yubin grabs his arm. Easy. Didn't Uncle Huang tell you to stay out of trouble? The guy in purple isn't even listening. He's staring at his phone with a frown. No signal, of course, out here in the middle of nowhere. Just wait, Sheriff mutters, furious. I'll deal with him later. Sam-sik tilts his head. Speaking of which, how come those fellas who went out for lunch still aren't back? Probably stopped somewhere. For drinks, Sheriff guesses. Yubin reaches for his phone to call them, then freezes. Right. The guys confiscated all three of their phones. No way to reach them then. Back to work, Sheriff says. They're about to head back when military helicopters roar overhead. Whoa, what's going on? So many choppers, Yubin exclaims. Some kind of military drill? Sheriff wonders. Sam-sik couldn't care less. Drill or not, not, I'm starving. Those guys better be bringing food back. Sheriff laughs. If they were that considerate, they'd all be married by now. Samsic nods. Fair point. The three of them head back, laughing and joking around. They would never know that those fellas had bought their favorite burgers for them that day. By afternoon, all three are absolutely starving. The guys still haven't come back. Samsic climbs to a high point and scans the area with a pair of binoculars. Sheriff looks up. See anything? Samsic scans around. A discarded wrench, and that's dog poop. I can see the station clearly, but nothing beyond that. Sheriff makes a face. Completely useless. Yubin adds, I just toss those binoculars if I were you. While they're messing around, the guy in purple walks over drenched in sweat, clutching 2 bottles of cold water. Sheriff spots him. Hey, still no signal? The guy presses a cold bottle against his face. Still nothing. I genuinely don't understand why anyone would build a senior care center in the middle of nowhere, Yubin explains. This area was originally planned for a new district, but the project fell through. Sheriff stretches. Let's go grab something to eat. At this rate, we'll starve before they get back. Samsic throws both hands up. Yes! Let's get some cold noodles. The guy in purple slumps. We don't have a car, that's a 50-minute walk. Only if you take the road, Yubin says. Cut through the fence and across the station and it's 10 minutes. The guy in purple thinks about it, then lies back down. I'll stay here. Just pick something up for me on your way back. What a pain in the ass, Sheriff grumbles. Then he catches Samsic pulling on his work gloves. What are you doing? Easier to climb the fence with these. The construction fence. Yubin hangs on it and shouts to Samsic, stop playing cool and come help me. Just then, the roar of more military helicopters thunders overhead. Samsic watches them pass with envy. If we had a helicopter, visiting Jinnu would be so much easier. After the helicopters fade, a mellow tune drifts through the air. Old tunes, Sheriff says approvingly. That radio of his never quits. Been going all day without a hiccup. Yubin groans. Can we please go? My ears are about to give out. They haven't gone far when a man staggers toward them. Yubin frowns. Something's off. What do you mean? Why would a salaryman come to an abandoned station with no trains? And those wounds look wrong. And is that blood on him? Samsic steps forward anyway. Hey, you alright? The man just groans, a low guttural sound. Samsic tries again. Are you hurt somewhere? Without warning, the man snaps his teeth down on Samsic's outstretched hand. Ow! What the heck, man? Yubin catches a glimpse of the man's rolled back eyes. Watch out! Sheriff charges in and kicks the zombie flying. Yubin rushes over. Are you okay? Let me see. Samsic is clutching his fingers in pain. Then a sly grin creeps across his face. I'm totally fine. Ha! Got you! Sheriff slowly clenches his fist. You asking for a beating? Thank God for these work gloves, Samsic grins. But before any of them can relax, the zombie wobbles back to its feet. Sheriff holds out his hand. Samsic, lend me those! What? You're going to fight him? Sheriff pulls the gloves on. Fight? Please. Do I look like the type who solves everything with his fists? I'll talk to him, as long as he doesn't make the first move. The zombie charges. Sheriff lets out a quiet laugh and lands a spinning kick square in the chest. A sickening crack. Ribs shattered on impact. He pulls back immediately. Sir, I'm sir. Before the apology can even leave his lips, the zombie is already charging again. Sheriff backs up fast. His back hits the guardrail. Nowhere left to go. He twists aside just enough, but the zombie's momentum doesn't slow at all. It smashes through the guardrail and plunges into the water below. The other two rush over. Did you just kill him? Samsic whispers. I did not. You saw it yourself. He charged me and went over the edge. It's okay, Yubin says. It's not that high, and it's water. Let's go check on him. Before they can move, the zombie stands up in the water and takes off down the river channel. Where is he even going? Samsic wonders. There's nothing that way. Sheriff stretches. Not our problem. Let's go eat. But something doesn't sit right with Yubin. Getting kicked like that and walking it off without a scratch. The biting. And the guardrail. He hit that thing straight on and destroyed it completely. Hey, Yubin! Sheriff's voice snaps him out of it. Hurry up or we'll leave you behind. Samsic teases. Cold noodles, cold noodles. I'm going to eat every bit of Yubin's share. Yubin shakes it off and jogs after them. Who said I wanted cold noodles anyway? Samsic groans. I'm dying here. How much further? Almost there. Sheriff points ahead. See? A rapid burst of loud bangs erupts overhead. What's that? Samsic guesses. Some kind of celebration? At this hour? Doubt it, Yubin says. Let's go look. But what greets them is pure hell. Everywhere they look, people are fleeing, being torn apart. Bitten, screaming, wailing, writhing, cars crashing, fires spreading. The three of them stand frozen for what feels like forever. Samsic finally speaks, drenched in sweat. This is a film set, right? Could be, Sheriff starts, but Yubin slaps a hand over Samsic's mouth before he can finish. Shh, we need to get out of here. Now. They start backing silently toward the stairs. They're almost there when a zombie that was tearing into someone lifts its head and locks eyes on them. Run! The three bolt down the stairs. Samsic shouts as he sprints. This seriously isn't a movie? Yubin doesn't even bother answering. You literally just watch them ripping people apart. What do you think those things are? Yubin's face goes grim. Zombies, like in American shows. He glances back over his shoulder. Yeah, nothing else it could be. Samsic screams as they run. We're gonna get caught. Samsic, will you please shut up? Exactly, you're stressing me out even more. They burst out of the underground passage. Samsic suddenly veers right. Over here, this way! The other two see the chain link fence ahead and immediately understand. They follow. Samsic scrambles up first and reaches back. Grab my hand! Quick! They don't hesitate. Samsic and Sheriff pull Yubin up together. The zombies are closing in. Yubin, hold tight! Before Yubin can react, Sheriff launches him over, taking Samsic down with him, then vaults over himself. Are you trying to give me a heart attack? Yubin gasps. Samsic nods vigorously. He's not human. He's a gorilla. Sheriff watches the zombies clawing uselessly at the fence and relaxes. Look at that. They can't get through. He drops to the ground. Samsic lets out a long breath. Finally, no more running. but Yubin stays alert. We can't relax yet. What if they climb over? Sheriff watches them mindlessly gnaw at the fence. Come on, those things can't climb? Sam-sik suddenly asks. Were Uncle Huang and the rest bitten by those things too? Yubin sighs. Maybe. Forget it for now, let's get back to the site. The two nod and start toward the other side of the fence. But on the other side, another group of zombies is swarming. What do we do? We're surrounded. Sheriff suggests hiding in the subway, but Yubin shuts it down. Sam-sik turns to him. Can't you just take them all out? No, he says flatly. These things don't feel pain. Guts hanging out and they don't even flinch. What am I supposed to do with that? Then Yubin says something that stops them cold. Then kill them. What? Both say in unison. Yubin is dead serious. Is there a way to kill them? Sheriff's expression darkens. You want me to kill people? They're not people anymore. Sheriff thinks it over. I can do it, but I need a weapon. Sam-sik has gone quiet, deep in thought. A weapon. I've seen something somewhere, something useful. Got it. The other two stare at him. Got what? Sam-sik says with a mischievous air of mystery. Shh, just follow me for now. He then walks toward an open space and picks up a wrench from the ground. He hands it to Sheriff. This should do it. Sheriff blinks. How did you know this was here? Sam-sik grins. Spotted it with the binoculars earlier, right next to the dog poop. Sheriff goes silent. Anyway, we have a weapon. The question now is, how do we handle them? Yubin speaks up. We should start with the smaller group over there, but they've been watching us. If we try to climb over, we might get bitten. Sam-sik points back the way they came. Look, that fence is about to give. Sheriff exhales. No choice then. It's risky, but we have to push through. Just as he's about to move, Sam-sik raises his hand. I've got a better idea. What? I'll be the decoy. I'll climb over, lure them away. You come through while they're distracted. How about it? Both answer immediately. No way. You've been like this since we were kids, always trying to sacrifice yourself. But think about it. It's the best plan. I'm the fastest runner. Sheriff grabs him by the collar. And so what? You want us to leave you behind and run to just watch you die? Listen to me. Stop thinking about sacrificing yourself. Got it? We are all walking out of here together. Sam-sik breaks into a smile. Yeah. You guys are the only ones who ever have my back. Meanwhile, Yubin has been studying the fence. Too dangerous to just climb over. Is there a way to take them out without going over at all? His eyes drift to the wrench. If they use it right, he turns to the other two. Guys, what if we unscrew the bolts halfway? Then only their heads can come through first. They get straight to work. Sam-sik hovers behind Sheriff. Hurry, the zombies on that side are almost over. Sheriff struggles. Left, right, nothing. So he slams the wrench down hard. There, Yubin pulls on his gloves and grabs the top of the fence. Using his full body weight, he bends it inward. Now, go! Sheriff steadies himself. It's okay. They're not people. He brings the wrench down hard on a zombie's back. The spine snaps. The zombie still tries to get up. What are you doing? Pull it together! Sheriff lets out a shout to steal his nerves and drives the wrench into the back of its skull. Sam-sik watches in shock. Oh my god. So they only die if you smash their heads? With the first one down, Sheriff calls out. Yubin, you can let go now. Yubin releases the fence. Sheriff caves in a zombie's skull with one swing. Another lunges in a last-ditch effort. He sidesteps easily and shatters its skull from behind. Even after both are on the ground, he keeps swinging, wrench coming down again and again. Just die, you freaks. The other two see him losing it and rush over to pull him back. A massive crash snaps him back to reality. The fence on the other side has been knocked down. A flood of zombies pours through. All three feel their blood run cold. What are you waiting for? Get over here! Yubin shouts, already crossing. Sheriff swings his leg over, but his clothes snag on the wire. The horde closes in. He keeps telling himself, stay calm, stay calm. Yeah, right. He wrenches himself free. Yes! And then, a zombie clears the fence and clamps onto his foot. Long nails dig into his ankle. He yells. He spins and kicks at it. Let go! Let go of me! Kick after kick. The zombie finally releases its grip, but he loses his balance and falls backward, sliding all the way down the grassy slope. My head! Forget your head! Run! They take off, and halfway there a familiar melody drifts through the air. All three follow the sound. Old Tunes is being tackled by a zombie. Help me! Somebody help me! The three exchange a look. Do they go for him? While they're still deciding, the fence crashes down completely. Damn it, too late. We have to go, Sam-sik says. If we stay any longer, we're done too. Back at the construction site, Han-ma is dead asleep when he faintly hears someone calling his name. Han-ma, you in there? He sits up groggy and finds Sheriff swinging a sledgehammer at the staircase. One hit, the stairs don't even budge. Yubin knocks on the iron staircase. It's bolted in. Smashing it won't work. We need to take it apart. Sheriff ditches the sledgehammer and uses the wrench to remove the bolts holding the stairs in place. Once the metal plate is off, he switches back to the sledgehammer. He spits on his palms. Alright, everyone step back. Only Han-ma has no idea what's happening. What on earth are you doing? No answer. Sheriff brings the hammer down. Without the bolts, the iron staircase can't hold and collapses in a clattering heap. Are you insane? Han-ma shouts. How are we supposed to get down now? Sheriff, thoroughly fed up, shoves his work jacket into Han-ma's face. Will you shut up? Yubin steps in. Give us a second to catch our breath. We'll explain everything. Sam-sik adds, if you knew what we just went through, you'd understand. Han-ma squeezes the jacket furious. Stop talking nonsense and put the stairs back. He squeezes and feels it. Something wet, something sticky. Han-ma looks down. His legs give out and he collapses to the floor. Blood? Why is there blood? You guys got into trouble, didn't you? That's why you destroyed the stairs. There was nothing else too. Yubin sits down and tells him everything. Sheriff lies on the floor. Every time he closes his eyes, he sees himself killing those zombies. He can't settle down. Han-ma listens to Yubin finish and scoffs. Ha, zombies? Give me a break. panic. That's just scaremongering. The words are barely out of his mouth when a horde of zombies begins encircling the site. His phone chimes. Finally, a signal. He pulls it out. This is a mass broadcast. Current time, 1:18 p.m. As displayed on screen, widespread riots and homicides have broken out in Seoul, Gyeonggi Province, and across the country. To manage this crisis, the South Korean government has mobilized military and police forces. Please remain indoors until the situation is resolved. The alert ends. The phone immediately flashes a low battery warning. You're kidding me, Sheriff asks. Didn't you bring a charger? It's in my bag. Han-ma points toward the zombie horde. And my bag is over there. I'm losing my mind, Sheriff groans. Han-ma doesn't seem worried. Do we even need it? The alert said they're sending soldiers and police. We should just sit tight and wait. Maybe crack open some soju. No, Yubin cuts in. They're not coming. The alert mentioned zombies at 1:30 p.m. It's now 6:30, and there are still this many of them out there. Sam Sick adds, the video you showed us, that footage was from this morning. That's over 10 hours ago now. Han-ma rolls his eyes. You guys love jumping to conclusions. You think this is a disaster movie? He frantically dials emergency services. The number you have dialed is currently unavailable. Why won't anyone pick up? Driven to a headache by the racket, Sheriff proposes, why don't we just knock him out? Yubin ignores that and turns to Sheriff. How's your ankle? The zombie got you, right? Sheriff stomps his foot. Fine, just a scratch. Yubin still isn't satisfied. Let's disinfect it just in case. He turns to Han-ma. Can I get that bottle of soju? Han-ma's face shifts. Zombie. He rounds on Sheriff. Did a zombie bite you? Sheriff jumps. What? No, this isn't a bite wound. Han-ma exhales. Right, if he'd actually been bitten, there's no way he'd just be standing there. It's a scratch from its nails. What? Han-ma looks like he's about to have a meltdown. How is that any different? Irritated by his reaction, Sheriff says coldly, I said I was not bitten. I have not turned. So why are you losing your mind? Han-ma fires back. Have you never seen a zombie movie? You're already infected. Everyone push him off the edge. We have to act before he turns. He drags Sheriff toward the gap where the stairs used to be. If you have any decency, don't make your friends do it. Jump yourself. Yubin shoves Han-ma away. Calm down. He hasn't turned. Who gave you the right to decide whether he lives or dies? Han-ma grits his teeth. Are you serious right now? You want to talk about friendship? Go ahead and protect him. Then see how much that friendship matters when he turns. Sheriff pushes between them. Both of you, enough. Is this really the time to be fighting among ourselves? He looks over. Sam Sick, say something. A gentle tune drifts up from below. Sam Sick pauses. Then he speaks. Both of you, stop. He's going to be fine. Han-ma scoffs. Don't lie, what would you know? Sam Sick points over the edge. Look down there. All three lean over. Isn't that Old Tunes? Sam Sick nods satisfied. Exactly. Now think, Old Tunes was bitten after Sheriff got scratched, right? So if Sheriff were going to turn, he'd have turned before Old Tunes did. Yubin's eyes go wide. Oh, yeah, you're right. Sheriff's face lights up. So I'm in the clear? The mood is bright until a voice cuts through it. Don't celebrate just yet. Oh, Han-ma drawls. Sure, you're fine now, but who knows when you'll turn. Before he can say another word, Sheriff grabs him from behind. If I ever turn into a zombie, Sheriff says with a wicked grin, you're the first one I'm biting. Han-ma breaks into a cold sweat. You're insane. Let go of me. The next day, Sam Sick heads upstairs, searching for something. Where is it? It's got to be somewhere up here. Got it. Sam Sick brings the items downstairs. Han-ma, who can't keep his mouth shut, pipes up immediately. Hey, aren't those the work bags from the crew chief and Uncle Huang? Why are you touching dead people stuff? Gives me the creeps. Sheriff fires back without missing a beat. Whatever's in there, it's more useful than you and your big mouth. Sam Sick dumps everything out of the work bag and digs through it. Got it? I knew it'd be in here. He holds up his find with a grin. It's a pack of cigarettes. Sam Sick notices Yubin still rummaging around. Yubin, what are you looking for? Something. Got it. Yubin picks up a power drill. What do you need a drill for? A weapon. Sheriff and Sam Sick both freeze. A weapon? Yubin sketches out a rough diagram and walks them through the plan. Han-ma stares at it wide-eyed. This plan is absolutely insane. With the plan set, the three get to work. The pulley is mounted. The two ropes run parallel. This part should hold. Han-ma, who hasn't lifted a finger, says uneasily. Is this really going to work? A trap thrown together in one day doesn't exactly inspire confidence. Yubin keeps adjusting the angle as he answers. Whether you're confident or not, this is the best we can do. Only one way to find out. And with that, he shoves the nail-studded plank over the edge. It slams into the ceiling of the floor below with a deafening clang. And the zombies below don't even flinch. Too short again. They haul the plank back up, adjust the length, and send it down once more. A heavy thud. The plank drives hard into a zombie's chest, pinning it fast. Yubin shouts immediately, don't let it fall, pull it up now. They haul the zombie up, but Han-ma stands frozen. Hey, what are you doing? Hit it before it falls. Han-ma stares at the zombie, trembling. I can't do it. Useless, Sheriff snaps. Yubin, switch with me, I'll handle it. Yubin takes the sledgehammer. It's fine, I've got this one. He grips it with both hands and swings with everything he has. The blow lands perfectly, crushing the zombie's skull. The body drops and crashes onto the pile of metal sheets below. Still and dead for good. Yubin, you okay? Sheriff asks. Yubin steadies himself. I'm fine, it's just a zombie. He grabs the plank and they go again. 22 zombies left on the first floor. Got one, pull it up, thud. The three keep working through the same cycle, and before long, 20 zombies are down. Yubin pauses, staring at the three that remain. With fewer targets, the plank is getting harder to aim, and Sheriff and Sam Sick must be exhausted by now. Is there a faster way to finish this? Yubin sets down the hammer. Alright, let's take a break, we can't keep grinding like this. Sheriff suggests, why not use Han-ma as bait? He hasn't done a single thing this whole time, might as well pull his weight. Han-ma immediately immediately scowls. No way, absolutely not. Then Yubin drops another bombshell. What if we just go down there and take them out ourselves? All three heads turn toward him. Han-ma waves his hands frantically. Are you serious? You go, count me out. Sheriff gives him a knock on the head. Relax, nobody's counting on you anyway. Then he turns to Yubin, cracking his knuckles. Actually, I've been itching for some real action. Sam-sik nods. Right, and now we know their weak point. Yubin stands up. Good, everyone gear up. Gloves, padding, then we head down. As for you, he looks at Han-ma. Han-ma immediately says, I already told you, I'm not going down there. I know, Yubin sighs. Stay up here. When we're done, lower the rope so we can climb back up. Can you manage that? Han-ma hesitates. Yeah, probably. The three gear up, confirm the area is clear, and rappel down one by one. Once they hit the ground, Han-ma quickly pulls the rope back up. Just so you know, if any of you get bitten, I'm not lowering this. Sheriff frowns. Can we actually trust him? Don't worry, Yubin says. He knows he can't survive without us. Just then Sam-sik calls out, guys, 2 zombies over there. The other 2 look. Sure enough, 2 zombies in the next room. Where's the third one? Sheriff doesn't wait. Forget it, take out these 2 first, the other one will show up. He steps forward. Come on then. The zombies lock onto him and charge. Sheriff meets them head on. The wrench comes down and splits the first zombie's skull wide open. He sidesteps the second one's lunge. He swings the wrench upward and catches the zombie hard under the jaw. As it staggers back, Sheriff leaps and drives his weapon straight through its skull. 2 down, clean and fast. Sheriff glances back. Find the last one? Yubin is still stunned. No, not yet. I don't think it's inside. Then a sharp, distinct clatter from beyond the wall. What was that? Don't tell me there's another horde coming. Sheriff holds up a hand. I'll check. You two keep your distance. He pushes the door open carefully and steps outside. No horde, just a rattling from the chain link fence to his left. They follow the sound. An old woman, already turned, is tangled in the fence, her vocal cords torn, unable even to growl. Sheriff stares at her. He knows what has to be done, but killing this helpless old woman still feels unbearably cruel. Yubin steps forward. I can do it if you can't. No, Sheriff shakes his head. Let someone with experience handle it. A spray of blood follows. Yubin watches Sheriff's hands tremble. You okay? Sheriff clenches his fist tight to stop the shaking. From now on, I need to think of myself as a vacuum with the plug pulled out. That's the only way I can keep going. Sam-sik chimes in casually. Jin-yu should think that way too. He's probably killed way more zombies than all of us put together. Combat zone alarms blare. Wee woo, wee woo. The drill instructor barks. Move it, fast, everyone to the training ground, get running. In the crowd, Park Jin-yu lets out a quiet sigh. This one's going to be rough. Forward operating base. Officers bark orders as soldiers fall into formation. Once everyone is assembled, the squad leader calls out. Has everyone picked up their magazines? Jin-yu rushes in, barely making it. Hey Jin-yu, every head turns. Could you move any slower? We don't have time to wait for you. A squad mate calls over. Jin-yu, go get your magazine. Jin-yu snaps to attention. Private Park Jin-yu, understood. At the distribution point, a soldier hands him a magazine. Load one now, the rest go in your vest. Watch your safety while you load. Copy. Jin-yu takes it. The weight stops him cold. These are live rounds. But before he can process that, an officer shouts, move, get on the vehicle. Jin-yu rushes over. First squad loaded, second squad all aboard. The engines roar and they roll out of the base. Jin-yu scans the faces around him unsettled. Normally heading out brings a buzz of excitement, but today everyone, except Sergeant Choi, looks on edge. The squad mate from earlier nudges him. Hey, Jin-yu, doesn't it feel weirdly quiet today? Like something's haunting us. Jin-yu says. Yeah, it does feel off. The squad mate lowers his voice. Actually, some soldiers died on this road before. Then he pulls a sudden terrifying face. Jin-yu jumps. Sergeant Choi leans over and knocks him on the head. Cut the crap. The squad mate looks innocent. I was just trying to lighten things up for Jin-yu. You never appreciate my good intentions. He turns to Jin-yu. You're an expert marksman. Even if there were ghosts out here, you'd better be able to shoot them dead. Jin-yu stares at the blood trickling from his squad mate's split lip. You okay? He grins back. Never better. Ghosts are all yours then. Ridiculous as it was, the tension in the vehicle does ease a little. Then, a single gunshot rings out, followed by a relentless volley. Sergeant Choi mutters under his breath, the moment that guy handed us live rounds, I knew something was wrong. Jin-yu swallows hard. Is this actually a war? Fortunately, the rest of the ride is uneventful and they arrive at the rally point without incident. Second squad, dismount. Yes, sir. Once the squad falls in, the squad leader speaks. The time is 1845. Combat orders are effective immediately. Sergeant Choi raises his hand. I have a question. We have zero information about what's going on. What exactly are we dealing with? Samchek City is currently under attack by a zombie horde. The squad erupts. Zombies? What are you talking about? Tat 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 tat. Gunfire crackles in the distance. A soldier mutters, this simulation feels a little too real. The squad leader claps for silence. Listen up. This is not a simulation. This is real. I didn't believe it at first either, but this is the reality we're facing. How the zombie virus broke out, we still don't know. What's worse, it's not just Samchuk. The virus has spread across the entire country. He unfolds a map. This shows the current situation. Around Samchuk City, starting from the outer perimeter, we're launching operations to eliminate zombies and rescue survivors. The apartment building assigned to second squad is here. Sergeant Choi leans in. How big is it? If it's too large, we won't have the manpower to cover it. 10 floors, single building. Sergeant Choi exhales. All right, that we can work with. However, I have another assignment. Choi, command is yours. Sergeant Choi blinks. Wait, it's being handed to me? The squad leader points to his green tabs. That's right, those weren't put there for show. Sergeant Choi puts a hand to his forehead. Ha, understood. What had to come has come. The squad leader claps him on the shoulder. Trust yourself and trust your team. Then he's gone. The moment he leaves, the squad erupts. Sergeant, what do we do? Can't we just find somewhere to hide? Exactly. Other units are already deployed. Do we really have to? Enough. Sergeant Choi cuts them off. I know this is your first time facing something like this, and honestly, I'm scared too. I understand how you feel. But think about it. What if your family is in that building? Would you still want to hide? Jin Yu speaks up first. I'm going. We have to save them. Sergeant Choi gives him a pat on the shoulder. Settle down, kid. Don't go trying to be a hero just because you're new. The others fall back in line. We can't let Jin Yu take all the glory. Let's go. The squad starts to move, all except Kwon Jong-il, who shuffles uncertainly. Fine. Let's go. Sergeant Choi allows himself a small smile. Good. Second squad. Move into the city. Inside the city, the squad scales the wall into the target zone one by one. The last soldier drops down and whispers, all in. Jong-il is already getting cold feet. No matter how you spin it, this is insane. Sending a squad with zero combat experience in alone? Another soldier glances back. What else can we do? This is what soldiers do. Jong-il opens his mouth to argue. A soldier asks, Sergeant, what's our next move? First we map out our route through the building, then we move. Everyone gather up. Target is there, the white apartment building at the end of the alley. 10 floors, but it's an open corridor layout. So this will take time. Get to your positions and move out. Yes, Sergeant. Sergeant Choi calls out, hey Jin Yu, you're right beside me. Be ready to fire the moment I give the signal. Yes, Sergeant. The squad moves silently through the alley toward the apartment. Then, a body drops from above, hitting the ground not far ahead. What the? Jin Yu looks up, either pushed off by a horde, or someone who didn't want to turn. A soldier looks to Sergeant Choi. Should we check? Sergeant Choi nods. Go, careful. The soldier inches forward. Sergeant, this one's alive. The fallen person rasps weakly. My leg. The soldier looks down, a bite wound on the leg. He moves closer to examine it, but the person lurches upright and bites down hard on the soldier's arm. Squad mates rush in instantly. Private Lee, shake him off. They swarm the zombie and pin it down. As they restrain it, Sergeant Choi's mind flashes back to what the squad leader said. Anyone bitten will turn, he shouts immediately. Everyone away from Private Lee, now. Before the words even land, a soldier beside him stammers. Says, Sergeant, there's a zombie. The squad erupts into panic. Are those real? That body from before? It turned too? Sergeant Choi wastes no time. All units, weapons ready. A horde in the distance has spotted them. They charge. Fire! Sergeant Choi yells. Single fire. No, full auto. Full auto. Jin Yu raises his rifle. Stay calm, just like training. But when he lines up the sight on that body, still unmistakably human, his finger won't move. Then a zombie closes in on a squad mate. Private Sun. Jin Yu, why aren't you shooting? Jin Yu sees his squad mate in danger and fires. One shot straight through the skull. Down. Tat tat tat. Rounds tear into the horde, but the charge doesn't slow. Sergeant, the guns aren't stopping them. Sergeant Choi flashes back to the moment Jin Yu dropped that zombie. That's it. The head. Aim for their heads. Jong-il sees internally. Easy for you to say. They won't stop moving. I need to look out for myself first. And so, he shoves Lee Jong-dae aside and bolts. Jong-dae goes down hard, and before he can get up, a zombie pounces on him. Get off me! He fights with everything he has. 2 more zombies close in. Sergeant, Corporal Kim, help! Bang bang bang. Corporal Kim Ji-ho arrives and drops all 3 zombies with 3 clean shots. Jong-il is crouched behind a car, trembling. Damn it, how are we supposed to fight those things? You idiots, stop standing there and fire! Sergeant Choi roars. Another volley erupts. Finally, the horde is completely wiped out. A soldier points at the wounded Jong-dae. Sergeant, what do we do with the bitten? It's too dangerous. Another soldier rushes to Jong-dae's side. Stay with me, come on, stay with me! Only Jong-il hangs back, still hiding. Corporal, he whispers. That guy's done for. Just leave him. Corporal Kim turns on him, furious. Are you out of your mind? Keep your mouth shut. Jong-il pushes on. We all saw what happens when an infected person bites you. We don't know when he'll turn. Corporal Kim grits his teeth. I don't care. We don't abandon our own. But Choi walks over. Corporal Kim, keep your distance from him. Being careful is never wrong. Call for emergency support first, then pull him from the operation. Corporal Kim gives a reluctant nod. Then Jong-dae speaks. Corporal Kim, aren't you hot? I'm burning up. I'm so hot. Corporal Kim hears his name and starts to move toward him. Jong-dae snaps upright and lunges. Just as he's about to reach Corporal Kim, a bullet passes through his forehead. Jin Yu already in position. Corporal Kim stumbles backward and hits the ground gasping. Jin Yu steps forward. Corporal Kim, are you alright? Corporal Kim lets out a long breath. Jin Yu, thank you. Jin Yu shakes his head. It wasn't my call. Choi ordered me to watch Jong-dae. If he turned, I was to take him out immediately. He walks to Jong-dae's body and kneels. I'm sorry, please. Rest in peace. Just as the squad is about to move out, a soldier shouts. Sergeant, all the zombies, they're heading straight for us. A massive horde surges in from behind. Everyone snaps into combat stance and opens fire. Here we go again. Full auto. Bang bang bang. Jin Yu fires and thinks at the same time. Why do they keep coming? Could the gunfire be drawing them in? But we can't exactly stop shooting. A scream cuts through his thoughts. He spins toward the sound. A squad mate is down, pinned by a zombie. He raises his rifle and fires. Several shots. The zombie drops. Jin Yu breaks into a cold sweat. If one 10-story building is already this bad, can they actually make it through? After what feels like forever, the squad finally clears the horde. 1 dead, Private Jong-dae, 2 wounded, Corporal Kubon Sung, and Private Sun Seong-ho. Sergeant Choi asks quietly, were the wounded bitten? Yes, both of them. Sergeant Choi closes his eyes for a moment. Put them down, then we move. The soldier looks like he wants to argue. Sergeant Choi holds firm. You saw what happened with Private Lee. Wait any longer and we all pay for it. A pause. I'll do it. 2 shots. Then silence. Not long after, the squad reaches the target building. Private Kwan mutters, 3 people dead before we even get inside. Are we actually going to make it out of here? Sergeant Choi turns to the comms operator. Any contact with command? Still trying. Choi nods. Keep trying. The moment you get through, report in. He faces the others. Listen up. We split into 3 groups. Kim Gi-ho, Choi Kang-song, Jin-Yu, floors 6 through 10. The 3 nod. Jung-il, Jo Sang-ho, Ryu Tae-song, guard the rear of the first floor until we confirm an exit route. The rest of you are with me, floors 1 through 5. We reinforce upstairs or downstairs as needed. Any questions? No, Sergeant. Good, move out. Jin-Yu reaches for the elevator button. I'll check if it's working. No, Sergeant Choi stops him. We use the emergency stairwell. Using the stairwell doors as cover is far safer than getting cornered in an elevator. Jin-Yu nods, taking it in. He heads for the stairwell, but glances back at the elevator display. Stopped on the 9th floor. Is it broken? First floor corridor. The search group moves toward the emergency stairwell. Corporal Kim steps up and opens the door, and a zombie comes hurling through. Everyone opens fire. Rounds hit from every direction. Is it down? Sergeant Choi orders. Confirm. Yes, Sergeant. A soldier prods it with a barrel. Looks dead. Put another one in the head, Sergeant Choi says. A squad member jokes with a grin. Wasn't my shot fast, accurate, and lethal enough just now? The soldier who checked it chimes in. Sergeant, it's really dead. Sergeant Choi nods. Fine. Lead the way. The group files in. Only Private Choi hasn't moved. Hey, what are you waiting for? A squad mate calls. Right, coming. He follows. But behind him, the zombie's fingers twitch. With his back turned, the zombie shoots upright and lunges. Private Choi barely dodges, then drives his rifle butt straight through its skull. A squad mate hears the noise and doubles back. What happened? It wasn't dead? Private Choi nods. You okay? He hesitates for just a moment. Yeah, I'm fine. That was too close, the squad mate says with a lingering fear. We have to make sure we finish them off from now on. I'm telling Sergeant about this. He waves him forward. Come on. Private Choi nods and falls in, but cold sweat keeps running down his face. It's nothing. I just got grazed by a tooth, that's all. 5th floor stairwell, Sergeant. Choi speaks. This is where we split up. Stick to the plan. My group takes the lower floors, Corporal Kim's group goes up. One more reminder, finding survivors is the priority. At the back of the group, Private Choi feels a wave of heat wash over his entire body. No, I just got scratched. I'll be fine. Downstairs in the rear guard team, Ryu Tae-seong goes pale. Joe, I think there are zombies ahead. Jo Sang-ho rushes over. Where do they keep coming from? Tae-seong grabs the radio. I'll report to Sergeant. But after struggling with it, the radio stays silent. Joe asks, what's going on? Did you check the channel? Tae-seong nods. Channel's right, but the signal is strange. He thinks back to losing contact with command earlier. Maybe the signal is just bad in this area. Jong-il urges, let's get inside before a horde shows up. Beep. He's cut off as a sharp screech of static blasts from the radio. Joe snaps, you idiot, turn it off! Tae-seong fumbles to kill it, but the damage is done. The noise has drawn them in. Joe raises his weapon. Fine, come on then. I'll wipe every last one of you out. Upstairs, gunfire jolts everyone. Shots fired. Something's happening down there. Sergeant Choi turns to Corporal Kim. My group goes down. Take yours up. Corporal Kim hesitates. Will you be alright? If a horde swarms you like before, it'll get ugly fast. We agreed from the start, backup is our job. The faster you clear those floors, the sooner we regroup. Corporal Kim sighs. Understood. We'll start from the 10th floor and work our way down as planned. He glances at Private Choi, who's breathing hard. Stay calm. Private Choi stiffens. I am calm. Only Jin-Yu, watching Private Choi from behind, feels a creeping sense of unease. Downstairs, gunfire rattles on without pause. Come on, aim properly. There, got one. Joe glances back with a grin. You see that, Tae-seong? But Tae-seong is staring straight ahead, face white. There, at the end of the alley, a sea of zombies floods toward them. Fall back, Joe shouts. Into the building. The 3 scramble back. Tae-seong trips on the steps. Joe pulls him up and turns to find Jong-il is already gone, bolted on his own. Selfish coward, Joe spits. Come on. The 2 sprint for the stairwell, but Jong-il has already rushed inside and slammed the stairwell door shut, sealing off the last hope of the 2 left behind. Jong-il leans against the door, gasping. If that door opens, it's over for me. I'm sorry, but whoever's meant to survive will survive. Good luck. A scream, then silence. 9th floor. Jin-Yu and the others spot a zombie wedged in the elevator doors. That explains why it wasn't moving. Corporal Kim orders, Private Choi, take it out. Yes, Corporal. Jin-Yu cuts in. Wait, firing here might not be a good idea. Why? The zombies on the first floor kept coming. I think the gunshots were drawing them in. That's just a guess, but I don't think we need to take that risk. Corporal Kim thinks it over. Fair enough, we search first. Out in the corridor, Corporal Kim frowns. Not a single zombie or survivor from the 10th floor all the way down here. Jin-Yu is about to agree, then catches a faint sound from a nearby room. He stops dead and signals the others. He raises his rifle and carefully opens the door, then slowly lowers it. A child. Jin-Yu reports immediately. First survivor in the building, found. The 3 enter. What's your name? Lee Jun-bin. How old are you? 4. Where's your mom? The boy bursts into tears at the word. Corporal Kim pinches his brow. I finally managed to get him to stop crying earlier. Crying like this will draw zombies in. Private Choi sighs quietly. He's alone up here. His parents are probably already. Jin-Yu frowns. What do? Taking him with us is dangerous. Corporal Kim says, you're right, but we might not get another chance to come back. We take him. Private Choi, carry him. Jin-Yu, just in case, leave a note saying we have the child. And report it to Choi. Corporal Kim steps toward the door. I'll be right back. Nature calls. Private Choi wipes the sweat from his face. He and Jin-Yu say in unison, understood. Jin-Yu finishes the note. He glances over. Private Choi is playing with Jun-bin, who's finally smiling. But then Jin-Yu looks closer. There's a wound on Private Choi's hand. That wound. Jin-Yu recalls what the squad mate said. How Choi had fallen behind the group for a while. Then there was the rifle butt kill. And the way Choi has has been burning up this whole time. Could it be? Jin-Yu raises his rifle and shouts, "Private Choi, where did that wound on your hand come from?" At that moment, Corporal Kim opens the door and steps back in. He walks straight into the standoff. Private Choi scrambles to explain, "I don't know. Probably just a scratch from the fighting." Corporal Kim moves to check the wound. Private Choi shoves him back, then presses his gun against Jun Bin. "Don't touch me. I told you I wasn't bitten. How many times do I have to say it?" Corporal Kim hurriedly urges them, Okay. You weren't bitten. If that's true, then put the gun down. Jin-Yu, lower yours too." Private Choi screams, "Put down my gun so you can kill me? Go to hell. You think I'm an idiot? Don't move. Anyone moves and I'll..." Then it hits him. He freezes. What am I doing? He drops the boy and bolts out the door. The moment Private Choi steps outside, his stomach turns and he vomits. Jin-Yu watches him and slowly raises his gun. When Private Choi turns back around, he is already fully transformed into a zombie. Jin-Yu lets out a slow breath. "I'm so sorry. I truly am." A single shot rings out. Corporal Kim calls over, "Jin-Yu, you okay?" Jin-Yu nods. "The kid? Fine. Just scared." Corporal Kim heads for the door. "We're running out of time. Let's move." But the moment he steps out, he yanks himself back inside and locks the door. "Jin-Yu, you said earlier the zombies seem to react to gunshots. You were right. Emergency stairwell." Sergeant Choi and his team are pushing down the stairs. "Hold it." Footsteps. Weapons snap up. Everyone tenses. Then Sergeant Choi sees who it is, and his expression hardens. "Kwon Jong-il, what happened? Where's the rest of the team?" Kwon Jong-il lies without flinching. "We were holding the line when a swarm hit. Everyone got bitten." "How many zombies, roughly?" "Around 20. Not sure if they're still following." Jong-il answers. Then notices Sergeant Choi hasn't taken his eyes off him. Damn it, he thinks. Why is he staring at me like that? Does he know I'm lying? Then the radio operator's device crackles to life. "This is Alpha. Bravo, do you copy?" Inside the room, Corporal Kim is sprawled on the sofa. "Man, I wonder what's happening on the first floor." He glances over. "Hey, Jin-Yu, what are you doing?" Jin-Yu presses his eye to the peephole, watching the zombies and tracking their movements. "Corporal Kim, I think I found a way out." Corporal Kim sits up. "How?" Jin-Yu explains. "The zombies seem to follow a pattern. They walk toward the emergency exit, then loop back to the entrance. That takes 20 seconds. One full pass back and forth takes 50. But to stay out of their sight, we have about 20 seconds. More than enough to reach the emergency exit." Corporal Kim nods slowly. "Alright, I'll go first and check it out. If it's clear, bring the kid." He eases the door open and sprints toward the emergency exit. It goes without a hitch. The moment the next zombie passes the entrance, Corporal Kim waves Jin-Yu forward. "Bring the kid now." But just as they step out, the boy's toy car slips from his hands and hits the floor and starts playing music. Every zombie within earshot snaps around and charges. Jin-Yu shoves them back inside and slams the door, but even the iron door is already starting to give. Jin-Yu backs onto the balcony. He peers over the edge, 20, maybe 30 meters straight down. His stomach drops. He needs a way out, and fast. Then something catches his eye. There, on the balcony, a descender device. Meanwhile, Sergeant Choi takes the handset from the radio operator. "Bravo copies. Ready for a status update. Report current field conditions. We're conducting a sweep at a residential building in Samchuk City, but our unit is pinned down. Requesting backup. Stand by. Confirming with the Chinook unit operating in the area. They'll reach your rooftop in 15 minutes. Copy out." Kwon's face floods with relief. "Saved. We're actually saved." Sergeant Choi turns to the group. "The situation in this area is worse than we anticipated. Our squad alone won't be enough. We pull back." And relay to Corporal Kim. "Once the sweep is done, get to the rooftop." Before the words are even out, Corporal Kim comes rushing down the stairs. Sergeant Choi steps forward immediately. "Why are you alone? Where's everyone else?" Corporal Kim is gasping. "Private Choi, he got bitten. And Jin-Yu is..." He can't finish. He turns to the radio operator. "Dusan, try the walkie-talkie. Reach Jin-Yu. He's got a kid with him. I don't know if they're..." Dusan doesn't hesitate. He grabs the walkie-talkie. Jin-Yu, this is Dusan. Come in, over." Jin-Yu's voice comes through, clear and steady. "What's your status? Survivor okay?" "He's fine. Before the door breaks, I'm using the descender device to get out. Can you bring the kid down to the 3rd floor?" "Copy. Out." Jin-Yu wraps the child in his arms and rappels down, slow and steady. At the 3rd floor, he swings his leg and kicks through the balcony window, landing clean. He raises his weapon and sweeps the room. Nothing. He allows himself one quiet breath. "I'm at the 3rd floor. What's the situation outside?" "2 zombies confirmed in the corridor. Hold your position." Sergeant Choi fixes his bayonet. "Only 2. We can take them. Without firing." Private Choi put one down with a rifle butt before, so it's doable, but it's dangerous. "I'm not ordering anyone. Anyone who wants out, head to the rooftop." Corporal Kim speaks up first. "I'm going. I can't leave my partner behind, just save my own skin. That'd be a disgrace." Dusan checks his watch. 5 minutes left. "I'm in too." Kwon Jong-il seethes inwardly. "Just leave him. Why risk everyone's lives for one person? Go yourselves. I'm not walking into my own grave." Sergeant Choi puts a hand on his shoulder. "Then take the rooftop. Someone needs to explain why we're late." Kwon nods quickly. "Yes, Sergeant. Please, stay safe." He turns and runs. Thank God, he thinks, his heart still pounding. "I thought they were gonna make me go." Sergeant Choi's team shoves through the iron door and charges. "Aim for a clean entry point. I'll handle the finish. Move." 3 bayonets stab forward at once, piercing the zombie's chest. Sergeant Choi clocks the second one closing in fast. He lunges for the head, but a 3rd zombie is already surging from behind. Private Park shouts, "Sergeant, I have no choice. I'm shooting." But then, a door slams open and cuts off the zombie's path. All 4 shout at once, "Jin-Yu!" Jin-Yu doesn't say a word. He drives his bayonet straight through the back of the zombie's skull. Before anyone can react, the zombie behind them is already clawing its way back up. Rooftop. Kwon Jong-il shoves through the iron door, gasping for air. Finally, Safe. The sergeant was starting to suspect something. He slams the iron door shut with a loud clang and bolts it. It's unlikely he'll be found out, but why stay on edge? He's still congratulating himself when every zombie on the rooftop turns to look at him at once. Kwan's blood runs cold. What the? He throws himself at the door, yanking the handle, then remembers. He locked it himself. By the time he gets it undone, the zombies are already on him. Kwan collapses, screaming at the sky. Why? Why like this? At last the helicopter arrives. The pilot stares at the hellscape below. It's literally hell down there. Yeah, makes you real glad to be the one flying. Is that the building? The CO pilot glances at the rooftop packed with zombies. That's it. But how are we supposed to land? On the third floor, the group takes down the last zombie with every ounce of strength they have left. Jinyu exhales. Even one zombie is this hard without firing. If they were easy to deal with, we wouldn't be in this mess. Dusan pats Jinyu on the back. Go get the kid. Copy. Then the radio crackles. Bravo. This is Alpha. Dusan grabs the radio. Bravo copies. Large number of zombies confirmed on the rooftop of your building. The Chinook unit cannot land. Sergeant Choi rips the radio from Dusan's hands. How long can Chinook hold out there? 5 minutes maximum. He slams his fist into the wall. We don't even know how long it takes to kill one zombie, let alone all of them. He picks up the radio again, jaw tight. Copy. Relay to Chinook. We'll clear the rooftop as fast as we can. Copy. Out. Corporal Kim swears under his breath. This is insane. We'd be better off on the roof of another building. Calm down, Dusan says. Jong-il said the zombies from the surrounding area are all piling up on the first floor of this building. We can't get through. Then he pauses. Wait. Jong-il went up to the rooftop. Corporal Kim exhales. He slacks off most of the time, but he's a clever one. If anyone can survive this, it's him. He's probably still alive. He turns to Sergeant Choi. Sergeant, what's your call? Sergeant Choi's voice is calm. We go up. We drive those zombies off the rooftop. Corporal Kim blinks. What do you mean exactly? They react to gunfire and humans. We use that. I'll be the bait. The room goes still. Don't talk like that. There's no way we let you sacrifice yourself while we just walk away. Sergeant Choi's expression turns hard. So you'd rather everyone dies? Fine, but what about the child? Private Park speaks up. What's the plan, Sergeant? First I move faster than the zombies. I draw them down from the rooftop and into a corridor a few floors below. Then, you wait for them to pass, then head up. Wait. Jinyu cuts in. I know exactly how fast those zombies move. To pull it off, the bait has to lead them all the way down to the 6th floor. He looks at Sergeant Choi. You know I'm fast. Sergeant Choi doesn't back down. Don't underestimate me, kid. Jinyu shakes his head. That's not the issue. We don't know if there are zombies in the 6th floor corridor. We have to make sure any zombie we run into is taken down immediately, so it has to be me. Sergeant Choi counters. And if the zombies on the 6th floor hear the shots and come upstairs, you'll be completely cut off. I'm not sending a private on a suicide run. Jinyu shakes his head. Not always. I need Corporal Kim and Private Park to repair the elevator on the 9th floor and ride it down to 6. Contact me by radio. Sergeant Choi and Dusan, wait with me in the 10th floor corridor. After I've drawn the zombies down, I'll need to get back to the rooftop. Cover me. Make sure none slip through. If the elevator doors don't open within 4 minutes or within 20 seconds of any gunfire in the corridor, rally without me. Everyone nods and they split up. Rooftop. Jinyu kicks the iron door open and opens fire without a word. Zombies drop one after another. He spots Jong-il in the massive bodies. Their eyes meet for just a moment. I'll see you off. One shot. Then Jinyu turns and runs, all the way to the 6th floor. Just as he feared, there are zombies in the corridor. They snap toward the sound. Jinyu raises his weapon. 3 shots. Clean, fast, done. But the delay costs him. The zombies from the rooftop are already pouring down after him. Inside the elevator, Private Park hears the shots. Corporal Kim, the gunfire, just like Jinyu feared. He ran into zombies in the corridor. I have ears, Corporal Kim snaps. Should we go help him? No. If there are zombies at the elevator doors, we're dead too. The gunfire stopped, right? Private Park listens. Yeah, nothing. Did he clear them all? Corporal Kim checks his watch. 20 seconds. Enough time to open the doors. He's about to press the button when Jinyu's voice comes through from outside the doors. Corporal Kim, open up. They wrench it open. Corporal Kim steps out and opens fire on the horde. Private Park, get ready to close the doors. I'll cover Jinyu. Working in perfect sync, the 3 of them get the doors shut just before the zombies close in. Meanwhile, Sergeant Choi's group reaches the rooftop to find no sign of Corporal Kim's team. He grabs the radio. Where are you? Corporal Kim can't help but grin. Dusan sounds pretty stressed. He keys the radio. We're on the 10th floor, moving to the rooftop now. The 2 on the roof let out a breath of relief. But as they climb up from the 3rd floor, Jinyu catches a glimpse. Zombies below are surging upward too. Move! Zombies are coming up. What? Why aren't they staying on the 6th floor? They must have heard the helicopter. Jinyu wheels around and opens fire. Get to the roof. I'll hold them off. Corporal Kim runs, cursing under his breath. Again? Seriously? I'm gonna teach you a lesson when you get up here. You better make it. Sergeant Choi spots them charging up and shouts. Corporal Kim, what's all the shooting? Where's Jinyu? He's covering the rear. Sergeant Choi's eyes go wide. Then get back down there and help him. At that moment, the helicopter begins to lift off. Don't take off. We're still missing one. The pilot's voice comes back grim and steady. I'm sorry. I can't put everyone here at risk for one person. The words are barely out, and Jinyu comes sprinting onto the rooftop. Jinyu, jump, jump. Jinyu hits the edge and leaps. Corporal Kim reaches out with everything he has and misses. No, no. Corporal Kim's eyes fill with tears. If I'd just been a little faster. Corporal Kim, aren't you going to pull me up? Jinyu calls up, breathless. dangling from the fast rope below the helicopter. On board, Corporal Kim stews in silence. Dusan puts a hand on his shoulder. Let it go. We're only alive because of Jin Yu. Sergeant Choi turns to the crew member beside him. Are we heading back to base? The man shakes his head. There's no point going back now. Civilians have been transferred to the evacuation shelters. Our unit is being deployed to the Samchuk nuclear power plant. Sergeant Choi nods slowly. I see. Outside the hospital entrance, a handful of zombies wander aimlessly until a car comes screaming toward them. It sends them flying, then slides into a clean drift and stops right in front of the entrance. Kang Myung-gu steps out, wincing. Get the hell out of my way. My shoulder is killing me. Lacking any sense of self-preservation, the zombies charge again. Myung-gu draws his cleaver. Bring it on then. I need treatment and I'm getting it. A few brutal exchanges later, every zombie is down. Inside the hospital, two doctors who had been hiding watch in disbelief before rushing to unlock the door. Myung-gu cracks a small smile. Right place after all. Hey, someone look at my shoulder. But before he can say another word, the two doctors speak first. Please, help us. Before he can even process that, a hand claws through a gap in the wooden door. Myung-gu takes one look and understands everything. Why is getting treated always such a goddamn chore? How many are inside? The male doctor answers, voice hollow. Patients and staff combined, probably 30. We're the only survivors. Myung-gu glances at the security shutter. That's why they're trapped. The main entrance should have a shutter too. Where's the switch? The female doctor points to the reception desk. Over there. Myung-gu walks over and brings the shutter down. The male doctor's face goes pale. Are you out of your mind? If that comes down, we're trapped. We'll all die. Myung-gu shakes his head. You have no idea what's out there. Compared to that, this place is paradise. He heads deeper into the hospital. The female doctor calls after him. Where are you going? Myung-gu doesn't look back. I already told you. I need treatment. On the road outside Gangsia water treatment plant, soldiers are hard at work, clearing debris, laying down chain link fence. Lim Soo-jin, wrapped in a suit jacket, limps toward them. Excuse me, please help me. The sentry spins around, startled. Zombie, 6 o'clock. He raises his weapon and fires. Soo-jin drops to the ground, arms over her head, screaming, don't shoot, don't shoot. An officer arrives at a run and stops cold. What is wrong with you? She's human. How many times? Verbal confirmation before you fire. Get a blanket. He crouches beside her. Are you alright? Our sentry made a mistake. The situation out here is complicated. I'm sorry. He signals the sentry to help her up, then spots the wound on Soo-jin's leg. His tone shifts instantly. Visible wound. Everyone fall back. He draws his sidearm. On the ground. Soo-jin is trembling. These soldiers flip between kindness and a gun barrel in seconds, but she obeys. The officer's voice is flat and cold. The wound on your leg, how did you get it? Did something bite you? It's a cut, a knife cut. Soo-jin chokes out, face against the ground. The officer examines it closely. Confirmed. He lets out a long breath. Inside the field tent, Soo-jin's wound has been dressed. The officer steps in. Thank God it wasn't a bite, otherwise, you would have killed me. Soo-jin finishes the sentence herself. The officer hands her a drink. I understand that hurt, but try to see it from our side. We've seen too many people swear they weren't bitten and then turn. Strictly speaking, you're still a subject for observation, so please, keep talking. If you go quiet, I'll assume the worst. How long do I have to talk? Until we're certain you haven't been bitten. Were you at the water treatment plant the whole time? Soo-jin nods. Yes. That's strange. We swept the building yesterday and found no survivors. I was locked inside a refrigerator in the basement cafeteria. I had passed out. I didn't hear anything. Then who killed the zombies inside the plant? Soo-jin shakes her head. I don't know. It was my first time seeing him. When that man appeared, the zombies followed. He just kept cutting them down. When I came to, I was inside the refrigerator. The officer stares. He cleared all those zombies alone? Honestly, that's hard to believe. In any case, I'll arrange for the supply helicopter coming at 6 o'clock to take you to the evacuation shelter. Soo-jin stands up. Can I make a phone call? My parents must be worried sick. The officer's expression doesn't change. Signal across Seoul is almost non-existent right now, including here. Most areas have nothing. Soo-jin's voice falters. That's serious? Then my parents. Please believe they're still alive. I don't know if my own family is either. Then the alarm sounds outside. Zombies approaching from Olympic Boulevard. Repeat. Zombies approaching from Olympic Boulevard. Scale 4. Scale 4. What does that mean? The officer is already moving. It means thousands. Soo-jin can't hide the shock. That many? He glances back. Just in Seoul alone, we're looking at tens of millions. Pray we all make it. Outside, machine guns roar. Zombies fall in waves, and more waves pour in to replace them. Don't stop. Keep firing. Aim for the heads. Orders fly. Then, the officer closes his fist. Cease fire. Threat neutralized. Soo-jin steps outside at the sound of silence. The sight hits her like a wall. A mountain of bodies, blood soaking the ground. She drops to her knees, sobbing and retching. The officer walks over. I know, but please stop crying. It's affecting the morale of my soldiers. You'll be leaving soon. We still have to stay. Soo-jin wipes her eyes. Only a few dozen of you are holding this position? The officer sighs. Under normal circumstances, I command over 120 soldiers. Reserve troops were called in as well, but they all turned. Soo-jin presses further. Then why not take shelter inside the water treatment plant? It would be safer, wouldn't it? That's not my call. My orders are to secure this road, set up the barriers, and hold this position, not to sit and wait inside a building. Soo-jin's voice rises. Who gives orders like that? The officer points to his cap badge. People whose rank symbols are far more complicated than mine. Soo-jin opens her mouth to say more, but the helicopter drowns her out. The officer checks his watch. When you get to the shelter, forget this place ever existed. If you can, pray for us. Soo-jin looks down. I'm sorry, I was being selfish. The pilot climbs down from the helicopter. A survivor? I never expected to find anyone alive in a place like this. You've got incredible luck. Is she injured? The officer nods. A wound, but not a bite. The pilot thinks for a moment. Alright, injured or not, protocol is protocol. You might not like it, but I need you to bear with it for 20 minutes. We're just following orders, the officer explains. On the first day, a rescued survivor mutated mid-flight. The helicopter went down, that's why we do this now. Miss, please, just put your pride aside for now. The rotors thunder and the helicopter lifts Soo-jin away from the camp. High above, the two pilots chat casually. Look at that, scale 6 zone, absolutely horrifying. Hey, zombies can't think, right? Why do you ask? No reason. I just think there's definitely some intent behind them circling in such an orderly way. Purpose? If they keep this up, they'll just starve to death. The comment is casual, but it strikes a chord with Soo-jin. Her pupils dilate instantly. A lecture from university flashes through her mind. The bacteria cultured in the petri dish, they gathered around a central mass called the mother colony, then spread outward in every direction, expanding their radius, circling. It was instinct, a biological drive to propagate. I'm so hungry. At the construction site, everyone's stomachs are pressed against their spines. But even worse, the water is almost gone. Yubin's voice is tight with worry. This is serious. Hunger you can push through, but no water. That's a different problem. Sheriff grabs a wrench. Stop whining, weapon up. We're heading into the downtown area to find food. Everyone scrambles to their feet. You have a plan? Sheriff grins. Plan? Given where we are, we don't need one. We've gone almost 2 days without eating. The downtown area right behind us is full of food. That's why we go. If we run into a zombie or two on the way, we knock them flat. That's the plan. Yubin exhales. Listen, we've been lucky so far, but luck doesn't last forever. You know better than anyone, except for you, every one of us is weaker than a zombie, and we're short on numbers. We need to be careful. You're right, Sheriff fires back. But are we just supposed to starve to death right here? I'm asking you to be smart about it. Scout a vantage point to keep an eye on the downtown area, set some traps along the route, that kind of thing. Have you figured out where? Yubin gives the most innocent smile. Of course. At the outer edge of the construction site, the three of them tear down sections of chain link fence. They stretch the blast net flat along the ground. Anything running through will trip. Then they line the spot where a falling head would land with sharpened steel pipes and drive nails into the strips of chain link fence. Finally, they place a row of soda cans in front of the trap, a warning for any living person who might stumble across it. The trap is ready. Yubin scans the sky. The sun hasn't set yet. Not a single zombie in sight. A patrol now wouldn't be a bad call. Let's just go take a look at what's happening over there. Nothing more. The other two nod, staring toward the downtown area not far off. Could anyone still be alive in there? The three cross a small bridge and reach the subway station. Sheriff shifts uneasily. Too quiet. The kind of quiet that scares you. Sam Sick nods hard. Yeah, I thought we'd at least see bodies. Yubin keeps his voice steady. Don't get careless. Not seeing them doesn't mean they're not here. Sheriff rubs his stomach. If I weren't starving, I could take on 5 of them by myself. Just then, Sam Sick's eyes light up. Look, a vending machine. He practically throws himself at it. Do you know how much I've missed you? He spins around. Hey, anyone have coins? Sheriff hauls Sam Sick aside with the sledgehammer. Power's out. We don't need money anymore. He swings with full force. A tremendous clang of metal, and the machine doesn't budge. Yubin spins around, scanning in all directions. That was way too loud. Sheriff looks just as surprised. Damn it, how is it that loud? He crouches down and taps at the glass, careful and quiet. He goes at it for a while. The glass doesn't even crack. Yubin presses his palm to his forehead. We can't survive without water. The traps are set. Let's just break it open and go. All right then, no holding back. Sheriff grips the sledgehammer with both hands and drives it into the machine with everything he has. A massive crash, the door gives way. All three rush in and grab a bottle each, drinking without stopping. Ah, that's it. Sheriff unslings his backpack and pulls out the tools inside. There are plenty more tools back at the site. Toss these for now, make some room. Pack in as many drinks as we can carry. Once the bag is full, Sam Sick stares at the leftover bottles. Should we go back for more bags? Yubin cuts in. Sam Sick, our goal today is to scout. Sam Sick snaps back to reality. Right, but is it safe to just walk out into the street like this? Yubin points to the building behind them. Exactly. That's why we go up there first and see what we're dealing with. Sam Sick nods. Okay, but what about those bloodstains? They approach the building. Look, the trail leads all the way inside. Someone who got bitten must have run in here, which means there are zombies inside. Yubin sets an empty soda can down at the entrance. We already know what's in there, but better to have a warning in case anything comes in from outside too. They follow the trail all the way to the door of Unit 203. Should we go in? Sam Sick holds up a hand. Let me listen first. He presses his ear to the iron door. From inside, a low, continuous growling. He turns back. There's definitely one inside. Should we just head straight to the roof? Yubin shakes his head. If it starts making noise and draws others to us, we won't be able to move. Better to deal with it now. Weapons out. Everyone braces. Sheriff kicks the door open, and the corridor is empty. Just as they start to think it's clear, another growl echoes out. They press back against the wall. Sounds like it's coming from the room at the far end. Careful, there might be more than one. Before the words are out, Sheriff is already charging forward. If we drag this out, every zombie in the area will come running. I'll end it fast. Yubin's heart sinks. Wait, if you just rush in like that. Sure enough, a zombie bursts from a side room and lunges straight for Sheriff's throat. Snap. The two behind him cry out. Sheriff, watch out. Sheriff nearly jumps out of his skin. Ha, scared the life out of me. Stop biting my sledgehammer. He flings it aside with full force and brings the hammer down on the zombie's skull. He glances back. Let's go. Both exhale and fall in behind him. At the door of the farthest room, Sheriff and Sam Sick get into position and signal Yubin to open it. Click. The door slowly swings open. Sam Sick freezes, a school uniform. Sheriff steps in and crushes the zombie with a single swing, student or not. These things are no longer human. At the same time, Yubin swings his hammer and takes out the zombie lunging at Sheriff. The three of them head up to the rooftop to survey the city. Sam-sik stares out at the chaos below and says, every road is jammed. Driving out of here is going to be nearly impossible. Yu-bin adds, and it's not just the main roads. The alleys and the underground passages are all blocked too. Let's head back to the construction site for now. At the shelter, the pilot who transported Lim Soo-jin turns to his men and orders, the lady has visible wounds. Keep her strictly quarantined. I'm heading to Yongchun to bring back the ammunition. His subordinate snaps a salute and replies, understood, sir. Inside the quarantine room, Soo-jin complains in frustration, why do I have to be stuck in this cell and for 2 whole days? This is unbearable. Suddenly the girl next door speaks up, don't stress. When I first found out I had to stay here for 48 hours. I didn't know what to do with myself either, but the time went by faster than I thought. Still a bit more to go though, ha. Soo-jin turns and studies her face. Wait, have I seen you on TV before? The girl tilts up her cap and says, I'm Taira from Pink Punch. Soo-jin glances down at her injured toe. What happened to it? This? A hit and run. Some jerk in a red sports car. He had to have known he hit someone and just drove off without looking back. Soo-jin asks with concern, did you get it treated? Tara gives a bitter smile. Looks like I'll be living with it for the rest of my life. Dancing will be rough like this, but I'm a good singer, so it's fine. As long as I can still sing, I'll manage. Ha. Looking at Tara, so upbeat and radiant despite everything, Soo-jin can't help but feel a little ashamed of herself. Tara reaches out her hand. I heard from the soldiers, if we just hang in there, everything will go back to normal, and until then, let's keep each other going. Soo-jin takes Tara's hand in both of hers. Yes, let's do this together. Back at the construction site, the 3 of them call out for what feels like an eternity, but Han-ma never drops the rope. Sam-sik wonders, what if he fell to the first floor and got bitten? Sheriff scoffs, no way, that guy would never come down to the first floor. Yu-bin takes out a drink from his bag and tosses it up toward the second floor. Sure enough, Han-ma's head pops right out. Hey, you brought drinks back. Sheriff's fist clenches in fury. I'm going to kill him. The other 2 urge, calm down. Without him, getting back up there would be a nightmare. Sheriff shouts, why haven't you dropped the rope? I was making sure you didn't bring any zombies back with you. What? So if we had brought zombies, you just wouldn't drop the rope. Obviously, isn't that the smart move? Only after checking that the area is clear does Han-ma finally lower it. Sheriff rubs his temple. Alright, first thing tomorrow we're building those stairs. Relying on that guy alone is going to get us killed. The other 2 nod furiously. Once they're upstairs, Han-ma asks, what took you so long? I thought you'd abandoned me without a second thought. Sheriff snaps, you couldn't even drop a rope on time. What right do you have to talk about loyalty? Han-ma shrugs, that's what you think. Whatever. Just give me more drinks. Sheriff and Sam-sik both clutch their bags with a smirk. None left for you. Han-ma's tone softens instantly. Come on guys, I'll drop the rope properly next time, I promise. Sam-sik tosses him a bottle. Here, consider it a reward. Yu-bin looks down at the bodies below. We'll need to clear those out tomorrow. The next morning, the 3 of them finish building the stairs first thing. Han-ma tests it from above. Is this thing sturdy enough? It's not going to snap, is it? Sheriff stares at him like he's an idiot. It's made from construction materials. How could it possibly snap? Stop stalling and get down here. Sam-sik drags a body and suggests, just think of it this way. When we die, we'll end up like this too. I'm basically burying my future self. Makes it easier. Han-ma curls his lip. I'm never dying. Yu-bin suggests to Sheriff, why don't you and Han-ma head to the hill out back and set up some wire traps? The 2 of us can handle things here. Sheriff nods, fine. Then calls over to Han-ma, let's go. After a long while, Yu-bin and Sam-sik finally pile all the bodies together. Phew, done. Now we just need to burn them. Watching the roaring fire, Sam-sik remarks, Yu-bin, the spots where they were lying are a lot cleaner than I expected. I figured all the headshots would have left a lot of blood, but it seems like it all dries up once they turn. Yu-bin nods, yeah, they might look like people on the outside, but what they are now is something else entirely, so stop feeling guilty. After everything's done, the group heads back up to the second floor. Hey Han-ma, did your phone get any charge? Han-ma pulls out his phone, yeah it did. Let me check if there's any signal. Han-ma paces around the floor, then suddenly stops dead. Signal, there's signal. Everyone rushes over. The news, quick, check the news. Alright. Han-ma taps into the news app with an impatient flick. On screen, a female anchor announces, good news, the South Korean government is working closely with military and police personnel to resolve the situation as quickly as possible. Based on current conditions, the situation is expected to be under control within 1 week. The trio's faces light up. The news says we just have to hold out for a week. But Han-ma throws cold water on it. Hold on. Look at the comments section. What is all this? That afternoon, the 3 of them are back on the station rooftop. Sheriff asks, so what do you 2 make of those comments? Yu-bin speculates, it could be fake news. If things were actually improving, why wouldn't they show reports from Seoul or Gyeonggi? Sam-sik scans the street through binoculars, barely paying attention. They'd do more good just telling people to aim for the head. Sheriff, what time is it? 2:34. Seriously, you have a date with a girl at a time like this? Sam-sik looks surprised. How'd you know I was supposed to grab drinks with someone? Wanna come? Sheriff shakes his head wildly. Shut up. Sam-sik keeps watching through the binoculars. The one in red is Young-suk. The one in the school uniform is Ji-hai. Sheriff, what's the exact time right now? Sheriff snaps, what have you even been doing this whole time? Sam-sik urges, just tell me. 2:41. Happy now. Sam-sik doesn't respond. Muttering to himself, Mi-yeon turned 2, and Yu-jong from the bar is there as well. Sheriff's jaw drops. Wait, you knew that woman from Orange Bar? Sheriff, the time. Don't you dare change the subject. 3:23. Start talking. Sam-sik counts on his fingers, lost in his own world, so that's 21 minutes. Young-suk, Mi-yeon, Yu-jong. Young. Sheriff lets out a long sigh. It's hopeless. That guy's locked onto something weird again. But then Sam-sik lowers the binoculars. Guys, I think I've figured out a way to get food. He signals everyone to sit down. He points to a cigarette butt on the ground. Say this is Young. She doesn't belong to any horde. She just wanders around this area on her own. There are 7 solo zombies like her, while the rest form hordes of dozens, moving together in loops. 5 hordes in total. Some do stray occasionally, but they always catch back up. The other 2 ask, how do you know all this? Sam-sik continues. After Yongsuk's horde passes, once the other 4 hordes follow through, Yongsuk's horde will loop back around again. Before the next horde after Yongsuk arrives, there's a 9-minute window. Then 11 minutes later, Myeon's horde comes. 20 minutes after that, Yujong's horde. Then 12 minutes after that, Yubin suddenly cuts in, so the longest gap is right between Myeon's and Yujong's hordes. That's when we can move into the downtown area. Sheriff cracks his knuckles. 20 minutes is more than enough to knock down the solo ones and grab some instant noodles. Sam-sik says, moving to the underground passage takes time too, and we have to wait until the last zombie clears our line of sight before we go. So the window isn't as wide as it sounds. They verify it again from the rooftop. Wow, it's exactly like Sam-sik said. Guess you really do need the right people by your side. Yubin checks his watch, then we move at 5:58. 5:58. The 3 of them grip their weapons, ready to go. Alright, let's take those things out. The 3 reach the exit of the underground passage. Yubin checks his watch and says, go. Sheriff charges out first and drops 2 zombies before they can react. 1 swing each. Then sends another one flying with a single blow. Yubin rushes in and finishes it off with his shovel. A zombie lunges at Yubin. Sam-sik shouts, this one's mine. But his hammer is too short and the swing misses completely. The zombie stops and turns toward Sam-sik. Thankfully Yubin gets there in time and drives the shovel clean through its neck. But before Yubin can even catch his breath, a zombie tackles him from the side, just as it's about to sink its teeth into him. Sam-sik's hammer lands square on the back of its skull. Yubin, you okay? Yubin sits on the ground, pale with shock. Damn it. Did it bite me? I can't feel anything. Relax, you're not bitten. Ha, I really thought it was over this time. Sam-sik looks full of guilt. I'm sorry. I should have caught it sooner. Don't say that. You're the reason I'm still alive. Across the way, Sheriff finishes off the last 2 zombies. He wipes the sweat from his face. What time is it? 6:09. About 5 minutes ahead of schedule. Let's go grab what we can. Inside a convenience store, the 3 ransack everything in sight, stuffing any food they can find into bags. 4 minutes are up. Let's move. The 3 run for the underground passage, buzzing with energy. Suddenly, tap tap. Sheriff snaps to attention. What's that? I heard it too. Over there, a window's opening. They look toward the sound. Survivors everywhere, leaning out from all directions. Are you the rescue team? Have you come to save us? Please help us. Give us water. The scene erupts into chaos in an instant. Sheriff turns to the others. What do we do? They think we're a rescue team. Yubin checks his watch. We need to leave now. The next horde is less than 5 minutes out. Sam-sik calls out to the survivors. We are not a rescue team. Please stay inside and keep yourself safe. The crowd erupts again. Hey, how can you just leave like this? At least give us some food before you go. The streets look clear right now. Hurry, follow them and find food. And they pour out of the buildings, flooding toward the convenience store. Sam-sik is stunned. How did this many people survive in this neighborhood? Something must have happened on the streets, so everyone took shelter inside. This is bad. The horde is almost here. Sam-sik shouts as loud as he can. Everyone get back inside. A zombie horde is on its way. But the scene is total chaos. Everyone is scrambling for supplies and no one is listening. Yubin checks the time. This is bad. Less than a minute left. Sheriff grabs Sam-sik's arm. We have to go. If we stay, we'll die right along with them. But, no more buts. There's nothing we can do for them. Sam-sik grits his teeth. Let's go. The 3 bolt, then a hand suddenly grabs Sam-sik. Please, please save me. Wait, please save us. A middle-aged man gasps out of breath. Sheriff shoves him off. Let go. We already told you, we're not a rescue team. The man grabs Sam-sik's shirt again. Please, just take me 2 blocks. My car is there. Sheriff kicks him to the ground. I said let go. The man doubles over, coughing in pain, but still refuses to give up. Please, just this once. I'll pay you. No, I can give you power and connections. Then Yubin cuts in. 30 seconds. Sheriff explodes. Damn it, I told you to let go. And knocks him out cold with 1 punch. Yubin stares. You didn't have to knock him unconscious. He wouldn't let go. What was I supposed to do? At that moment, a young woman runs toward the man. Oppa, are you okay? Come on, stay with me. Watching her shake him over and over, Sheriff says awkwardly, hey, now's really not the time for that. Then a scream rings out from down the street. Zombies. Zombies. Everyone raiding the store freezes. Run, the horde is back. Nobody cares about supplies anymore. They scatter in a panic. But many don't make it in time and are brought down by the horde. Sheriff watches the horde closing in and tells the others, we need to move too. But just as they're about to go, they see the young woman still struggling to drag the man along. Please get up, come on. Sheriff is torn, then curses under his breath, runs over, and hauls the man onto his shoulder. Yubin says to the young woman, getting him back to our position will be too difficult. We'll have to take him back to where you were. The young woman nods. Follow me. How far is it? Just ahead in the alley. Get in, quick. They finally reach the door. Sheriff gasping for air. I really thought we were finished back there. Sam-sik asks the young woman, why isn't the door opening? She says in a panic, I think it's been locked from the inside. The group erupts. Sam-sik peers out the window. We're done. The horde is heading this way. Sheriff kicks the iron door. Open up. People inside call back. Find somewhere else. Don't bring your problems here. Sheriff asks skeptically, aren't you two together? The young woman says awkwardly, actually, we only just met here. Sheriff sets the man down, picks up his sledgehammer and slams it into the door. Fine, then we all die together. Thunderous boom. The door caves in. The people inside give in at once. Alright, we're opening it. Once the door opens, Sheriff spots the horde nearly on top of them. He grabs the wrench from Yubin. Everyone get inside. Sam Sick and I will cover you. Together they each take down one of the pursuing zombies, then sprint inside. Close it now. Just as the door is about to shut, a zombie jams its hand in the gap. Sheriff orders hold the door, then brings the wrench down on that hand. The bones crack, the hand retracts. Close it. Yubin slams the door shut and drops to the floor. Finally safe, Sheriff looks over at the young woman. You okay? She stammers, I'm fine. Thank you, and I'm sorry. Yubin glares at Sheriff. It's fine, but if anything had gone wrong, Sheriff defends himself. Hey, the situation was critical back there. At that point, one of the men already inside shifts nervously and asks, you're not planning to stay here permanently, are you? We opened the door because it was an emergency, but we're running very low on food. Sheriff says tiredly, just let us catch our breath. That's all we're asking. On the floor, the man slowly opens his eyes, head pounding. Just as he tries to sit up, he hears Sheriff say something to the young woman. Won't you be more comfortable taking it off? The man's mind snaps to full alert. He lunges to his feet, grabs Sheriff by the collar, and roars, does this punk have a death wish? Sheriff is baffled. What is going on? Why is he coming at me like this? The young woman waves her hands, trying to explain. It's not what you think, but the man cuts her off. I heard it loud and clear. He told you to take it off. What? No, that's not it. She says, I told you. He was just telling me to eat the bread. The man's eyes land on the loaf of bread in Sheriff's hand. His face goes red. Oh, I see. I'm sorry for coming at you like that. Sheriff waves it off. Don't worry about it. I hit you too. Call it even. The man rubs his throbbing head. That's quite a punch you've got. Where did you learn that? Let me ask, who do you work under? Sheriff looks confused. Sam Sick cuts in. Daehung Manpower Agency. We work under Foreman Cho Guk Nam. The man thinks it over. First time I've heard of Daehung. In Seoul, there's the Man Biopa and the Hung Son. Are there really any other factions? Anyway, I'd like to ask a favor of you. Sheriff waves him off. I already know what you're after, but it doesn't look like you understand what's out there. No car in the world will help you now. Every road around here is completely blocked. There's no way to drive anywhere. The man asks, how do you know that? Did you see it yourself? Sam Sick says proudly, we confirmed it from the top of the abandoned station. So what was it like on your way here? At that moment, Yubin says to Sam Sick, give it a rest and get some sleep. You can't see anything out there at night anyway. Sam Sick keeps watching through the window. No, I can see just fine. That over there is Yujong's horde, with some new zombies joining them. The numbers are bigger, but between here and the underground passage I can only spot about 5, and the hordes are still moving in the same pattern as before. Yubin stares. You can see all that. Is it just that your eyesight is that much better? At dawn, the sun slowly rises and breaks through the darkness. Yubin takes the chance to observe the zombies' movements. Sam Sick was right. They're moving faster now, but their patrol pattern is still the same as yesterday. Sheriff asks, so what time do we move? Yubin checks his watch. This horde will clear out at 5:17. It takes them 6 minutes to fully clear the area. We leave at 5:23. That gives us a 10-minute window. Plenty of breathing room. Sheriff cracks his knuckles. Let's go. Though taking out every zombie on that street is out of the question. I can only handle the ones that get close. But what about the supplies? We can't fight while carrying all this, Yubin says. We can't just leave this stuff here. Suddenly the owner emerges from the back room and tosses out a backpack. Take this, and now you really need to go. Don't come back. The door slams shut behind them. Sheriff pulls a few cans of luncheon meat from a bag and sets them on the floor. Payment for the backpack. Yubin turns to face the two. Are you two really coming with us? Can you run 2 kilometers to our base? The man nods. Sitting around waiting isn't my style. I have to do something. The young woman adds, I work out regularly. That distance is no problem. Sheriff picks up his sledgehammer. Alright then, let's move. Once everything is set, Yubin opens the front door to draw the zombie's attention. Sheriff seizes the moment and swings. The zombie's skull caves in on the spot. No time to think. Everyone runs for the underground passage. They reach the entrance quickly. Everything is going smoothly so far. Now they just need to brake right at full speed, exactly as planned. But the man stares fixedly to the left. Yubin has to call out to snap him back. He shakes his head and falls back in line. The group presses forward. Sheriff at the front, Sam Sick and Yubin close behind, the man and the young woman bringing up the rear. Yubin thinks to himself, from the looks of it, the zombies in the other blocks haven't noticed this area. If that holds, getting out of here should be manageable. And of course, the moment you think that, something always goes wrong. 2 sharp crashes and zombies rain down from above. Yubin's stomach drops. They planned for everything, and somehow overlooked the ones who got bitten yesterday and retreated into the buildings to turn. There's no going back now. They have to push straight through. At that moment, another zombie drops from above and lands squarely on the man. Then a few more. The man lets out a cry of agony as they tear into him. Yubin moves to help, but Sam Sick grabs his arm. Yubin knows what it means. He curses bitterly under his breath, then pulls the young woman, still frozen in shock, and keeps running. By then, Sheriff has cleared every zombie ahead of them. Yubin and the others run through without resistance. Only 2 remain behind them, still giving chase. Sheriff sees them, shouts, "Get your head down," and launches a swing. Both drop dead on the spot. With that handled, the group keeps moving. Shortly after they reach the chain link fence next to the station, Sheriff signals the young woman to step into his hands and vault over. She doesn't hesitate, clears it cleanly and lands without a stumble. Yubin, on the other hand, loses his footing and face plants right in front of her, but she doesn't laugh. She reaches out to help him up. The moment he's back on his feet, a blood-curdling shriek echoes from inside the station. Everyone knows they can't stay. They break into a full sprint. Minutes later, they crash through the construction site fence and collapse to the ground, all of them gasping. As the rush fades, the emotions the young woman has been holding back finally break loose. Sheriff Sheriff sees it, he steps forward and says gently, "We're truly sorry about your loss. If you're willing to trust us, stay with us. We can't replace what you lost, but we will keep you safe." Sam-sik quips, "Seriously, Sheriff, getting that close to your crush without even brushing your teeth first?" Sheriff looks completely lost. "What are you talking about? When did I ever say I liked her? Didn't you say you loved Jenny? I remember you saying it a million times." Sheriff is even more confused. "What are you going on about? Ever since earlier you've been." Before he can finish, the young woman suddenly stands up. She pulls off her mask and hat, revealing a breathtaking face. "Hi, I'm Jenny from Pink Punch." Sheriff's mouth falls open. Yubin turns to Sam-sik in disbelief. "How did you know?" Sam-sik says plainly, "One look was all it took, and the man who died wasn't actually her brother. That's right. He was my boss. I'd been calling him Appa since I was a trainee." Sheriff instinctively asks, "Where's Tara? Is she still back there?" The moment Tara's name comes up, Jenny completely breaks down. She chokes out. "On the first day of the outbreak, Tara and I were relaxing in bed, completely at ease. Appa suddenly burst in and told us to get dressed immediately. His face was dead serious. He was on the phone the whole time. From what we could hear, something major had happened. In the end, there wasn't even time to get dressed. He was shouting at us to change in the car. Seeing how terrified he looked, we finally understood just how serious this was. We rushed after him down to the underground parking garage. That's when Tara's shoe slipped off. She hadn't put it on properly. As she bent down to pick it up, she noticed a child nearby, struggling to breathe. Her bleeding heart kicked in. She wanted him to bring the child along. But the next second, the boy lunged without warning and bit down on Tara's little toe. He saw it happen. Jaw clenched, he muttered under his breath, "Damn it, Tara's done." And he floored it and drove away without looking back. I still remember clearly the look on Tara's face in that moment, pure despair. As she speaks, Jenny can't hold back any longer. The tears come pouring out. Sam-sik has no idea how to comfort her, so he just holds out the energy drink in his hand. Jenny knows that falling apart right now won't change anything. After all, everyone has lost so much because of this disaster, but everyone has to keep living, because only the living have a chance. So Jenny takes the drink, wipes her eyes, and pulls herself back together. Across the city, at Jonggang General Hospital, Kang Myung-gu sets an empty glass down on the table without a care. In the reflection of the glass, he sees a haggard, rough-looking face staring back at him. He lets out a quiet laugh. "Look at the state of me. Bet nobody would call me handsome right now." After a moment, Myung-gu picks up a bag of food and slowly heads downstairs. Outside the door, zombies howl and shriek without end. Myung-gu mutters with contempt, "If my arm wasn't messed up, I'd have torn every last one of you apart by now." After a couple more grumbles, Myung-gu makes his way back to the first floor lobby. He lays the food out on the bed and says in a low voice, "I'll keep bringing you food, and you make sure this shoulder heals fast. If you want to stay alive, that is." As he speaks, Myung-gu removes his shirt, revealing a body covered in scars, bold tattoos stretching across his back and arms. Meanwhile, the group brings Jenny back to the home base and introduces her to Ham-ma. Ham-ma is instantly captivated by her, and looks like he's about to reach for her hand. Sheriff knows exactly what he's thinking, and grabs his hand before it goes anywhere. Just then, a single drop of water lands right on top of Yubin's head. Then the sky opens up, rain hammers down, Yubin's stomach sinks. Rain means reduced visibility, and it's going to make moving around a lot harder. The good news is, they have enough supplies to last 3 or 4 days without any trouble, as long as they stay alert. Then everyone starts clearing out a space for Jenny. A small partition corner with a window. At least there's a view. Everything else is fine. The only thing missing is a door, so a piece of cloth is hung up as a makeshift curtain. Jenny says it's fine. This is already more than she could ask for. By evening, the rain is pouring outside and everything falls quiet, but a sudden rattling, clattering noise jolts Yubin awake. Yubin urgently signals everyone to get up, a finger to his lips. He listens carefully. It seems to be coming from the direction of the trap. They move to the balcony and go silent again. Listening closely, it could just be the wind. Jenny instinctively clicks on her flashlight and shines it into the distance. Sure enough, a zombie caught in the wire trap, thrashing wildly, setting off a chain of bottles and cans. Everyone exchanges a look and quickly works out a plan. If they leave it alone, it will definitely draw more zombies in. They decide that Yubin, Sheriff, and Sam-sik will go handle it. Jenny and Ham-ma stay back and hold the flashlights. Even with the flashlights, visibility is terrible. The rain doesn't help, blurring everything. Everyone's heart is in their throat. Suddenly, a zombie bursts out from the side and lunges straight at Yubin. Yubin doesn't react in time and stumbles backward in shock, but Sheriff moves fast. One precise swing, clean headshot. The two don't let their guard down. They sweep the flashlight around in all directions to check for others. Only once the area is clear do they register the sound. Yubin, still groaning. His thigh has been slashed by the wire trap, blood seeping steadily from the wound. At the sight of it, Sheriff quickly strips off his own shirt and presses it against the cut to stop the bleeding. Then they hurry back to the shelter. Yubin scratches his head and insists he's fine, but Sheriff isn't buying it. He grabs Yubin's pants and starts to yank them down. Yubin glances over embarrassed at Jenny watching the whole thing. Jenny suddenly remembers she's a woman and quickly spins around. "I'm not looking. I promise." When Yubin pulls his pants down, everyone draws a sharp breath. His knee has a nasty wound, the kind that clearly won't heal on its own. He pulls his pants back up and tries to look calm. "It's nothing. A few days and this'll be fine." Sheriff stares at him unimpressed. "You're only saying that because Jenny's standing right here. Either way, there's nothing we can do tonight. Tough it out. We'll get the medicine tomorrow." Yubin scratches the back of his head again, sheepish. "Okay." Meanwhile, at the South Korean Nuclear Research Institute base camp, Jinyu wakes Corporal Kim from a deep slumber. It isn't mere paranoia. The atmosphere is far too eerie. Jinyu is haunted by a gnawing sense of impending doom. doom. If it strikes, the lax soldiers will undoubtedly be caught completely off guard, and the trenches are dug far too shallow to offer any real protection. The only thing that might actually help is the machine gun mounted on the distant watchtower. Corporal Kim notices Jin Yu's unease and tells him to relax and not overthink it. Just as Corporal Kim finishes speaking, the smell of blood hits them. Then comes the sound of heavy, thundering footsteps. They look up. Countless zombies are charging out of the depths of the forest. No time to think. Corporal Kim yanks out a signal flare. The others raise their weapons, trying to stop the horde in its tracks. Easier said than done. 3 full magazines empty, and the zombies keep coming. The sheer scale of it, at least 5 digits. If this keeps up, everyone might die. Jin Yu's mind races. He has to find a window to get everyone inside the generator room. Assuming zombies can run 100 meters in 12 seconds uphill, the first wave of zombies should take 72 seconds to get here. On the flip side, we have to lug our gear and ammo, so 16 seconds for the same distance. It might take longer than that, so we need to retreat in exactly a minute. Decision made. Jin Yu keeps firing. Each shot finds a zombie skull. The minute passes fast. He scans his surroundings. Time to pull back. But Corporal Kim has completely lost himself in the fight. Calling his name does nothing. With no other option, Jin Yu can only grab him by the collar and physically haul him away. That finally snaps Corporal Kim out of it. And just like that, the two of them are off, sprinting for their lives with the horde right behind. Suddenly, mid-run, Jin Yu catches a flash of light at the edge of his vision. Without thinking, he shoves Corporal Kim's head down. A bullet punches clean through a zombie's skull a split second later. Soldiers inside the institute had opened fire to cover them. A risky move, but they're alive, and that's what matters. Minutes later, the last shot rings out. Every zombie that gave chase is down. The brief victory makes some soldiers think zombies aren't so dangerous after all. Maybe less dangerous than the guns in their own hands. Jin Yu doesn't share that feeling. He can't shake the sense that something worse is still out there. Sure enough, the next second, another wave pours out of the trees. Everyone scrambles to slam the iron gate shut. Then they fall in line, moving to their assigned positions on the lieutenant's orders. Standing above the sea of zombies below, more than a few soldiers feel a chill crawling up their spines. The lieutenant behind them booms through the megaphone. Eyes forward, aim. That snaps everyone back. They open fire into the horde. Few bullets find their mark. The barrage does nothing to halt the relentless advance. Under the crushing weight, the fence begins to buckle. The lieutenant barks an order for the reserves to plug the gap in the fence. That order gives Jin Yu pause. If even the reserves are being deployed, where the hell is the company assigned to the front gate? There's no way they don't know the perimeter is under attack. Is the front gate besieged as well? No time to dwell on it. The horde in front of him needs to die first. Time passes, bullets fly. The bodies pile up higher and higher. More and more zombies begin using the growing pile of dead as a ramp, vaulting into the air. Some clear the fence entirely, landing behind the soldiers completely by surprise. Jin Yu thinks, this can't keep going. If nothing changes, they're all dead. Come up with something. Pull it together, Park Jin Yu. He's still thinking when, click, his submachine gun runs dry. He reaches instinctively for the spare magazine at his hip when Corporal Kim's voice cuts through from behind. Park Jin Yu, I told you to watch the front, you idiot. Jin Yu blinks. A zombie is already lunging straight at his face. Corporal Kim moves fast and yanks him off the platform just in time. One shot, clean headshot. Crisis over. Can't you hear anything I say? Are you even with us right now? Jin Yu doesn't answer. His eyes drift forward, vacant. One by one, his comrades are being torn apart, their screams filling the air. If Corporal Kim hadn't pulled me when he did, I'd have ended up the same way. The thought sends a cold wave down Jin Yu's spine. The lieutenant shouts for everyone to grab the fire hoses and soak the zombies, then hit them with high voltage electricity to paralyze them. Solid idea in theory. In practice, it's a disaster. The electrocuted zombies blast into the air like popcorn. Some of them land inside the fence. The soldiers inside don't know whether to run or fight. Jin Yu and Corporal Kim exchange a look. Corporal Kim jerks his thumb at the jeep parked behind them. Jin Yu gives a single nod. The next second, both of them sprint toward the already running jeep like their lives depend on it. Corporal Kim drives. Jin Yu shoots. They work in perfect sync, the plan being to lure the zombies away and take the pressure off the front line. But barely any follow. One look tells them why. The entire horde has been pulled toward the sound of the Institute's generators. Jin Yu's stomach drops. If the Institute falls, humanity has nothing left. They have to find a way to grab the horde's attention and lead it to the front gate. Just then, a group of soldiers comes sprinting toward them, screaming for help. When they take a closer look, they see a massive horde of zombies right behind them, easily in the hundreds. Jin Yu and Corporal Kim are clearly shaken. But isn't this the perfect way to draw the zombies in? No hesitation. Corporal Kim yanks the handbrake, whips the jeep into a drift and slides it to a perfect stop right in front of the fleeing soldiers. Everyone scrambles in. Jin Yu stands up in the back and opens fire, buying time for the ones to board. Once everyone's in, Corporal Kim floors it. The horde is following. Now all they have to do is lead it to the front gate. That's the plan, until a zombie darts out directly in their path. Corporal Kim has no time to react. He hits it dead on. The sudden impact throws him for a second. His hands jerk the wheel without thinking. The front tire rolls straight over the zombie's skull. The rear axle takes serious damage. Sparks spray from the wheel. Corporal Kim swears, "Son of a blown tire!" Everyone bails and runs. The soldiers at the front gate spot the commotion in the distance and raise their machine guns. Corporal Kim desperately shouts for them to hold their fire, screaming the secret code, Bikini Atoll. The sergeant stares at them exasperated. "You idiots, get down!" Everyone drops immediately, hands over their heads. The next second, a wall of bullets sweeps across the entire battlefield. The zombie horde doesn't stand a chance. After a full 5 minutes of sustained fire, every attacking zombie is wiped out. Humanity claims another brief victory. Several of the soldiers are wounded. One of the privates is about to put them under observation to see if they'll turn, down when a lieutenant suddenly walks over. Corporal Kim gives him a quick situation report. The lieutenant casts a flat look at the soldiers nearby. Pale faces, noses dripping blood. He waves it off. They're fine. Since when do zombies bite someone in the nostril? Now get back in formation. Corporal Kim starts to argue, but the lieutenant's face keeps getting closer, and Corporal Kim swallows his words. Elsewhere, the outer perimeter of the institute has fallen. The survivors climb on top of a bus, hanging on by the thinnest thread. The last signal flare arcs into the sky. Their time is nearly up. Ammunition gone. One magazine left. That last magazine, no one plans to use it on zombies. They're saving it for themselves. They're about to pull the trigger when a blinding light cuts through the haze ahead. They look up. A rescue team. They're going to make it. The rescue lieutenant arrives, grabs the megaphone, and orders everyone off the vehicles. Assemble first, then we fight. Jin-Yu is dumbfounded. Shouldn't they be going straight into combat? Why assemble? And more importantly, why get off the vehicles? Doesn't the lieutenant know that the high ground is a massive advantage against zombies? Question after question. But Jin-Yu bites his tongue. Military orders are military orders. Assembly complete. The lieutenant gives the order. Hundreds of bullets pour out, but the horde doesn't slow. If anything, it's getting closer. The lieutenant starts to panic. He shouts for his men to aim for the heads. Stop wasting shots everywhere else. Jin-Yu thinks, yes, the head is a zombie's weak point, that's true. But in this specific situation, wouldn't targeting their legs be far more effective? Shoot out their legs, make them fall, that stops them from advancing. And then pick them off while they're being trampled by the ones behind them. How is this lieutenant not seeing it? Corporal Kim, aim for their legs. Corporal Kim stares at him blankly. But the lieutenant said to aim for the head. Jin-Yu doesn't have time to explain. Just trust me this once. Corporal Kim looks at Jin-Yu's face, panicked but completely serious. He agrees. 2 shots, both aimed at zombie legs. Both snap clean. 2 zombies crash to the ground. Before they can get up, a stampede of feet rolls over them. It works. Corporal Kim immediately tells everyone around him to start targeting legs. The lieutenant sees everything, openly defying orders and even urging others to do the same. Corporal Kim tries to explain, but the lieutenant isn't listening anymore. He grabs Corporal Kim by the collar and drags him to the rear. He draws his sidearm and racks the slide, ready to make an example of him. Corporal Kim is genuinely terrified. He begs. He waits and waits. The gunshot never comes. He opens his eyes. Jin-Yu stands there, rifle butt in hand. The by-the-book lieutenant lies unconscious on the ground. Everyone freezes. What Jin-Yu just did is outright insubordination against a superior officer. Then he turns and levels his rifle at the 2 remaining soldiers. Both quickly raise their hands, signaling they'll do it Jin-Yu's way. Only then does he slowly lower the rifle, dragging in ragged breaths. He doesn't regret a thing. He grabs the still stunned Corporal Kim by the arm and pulls him back into the fight. The next morning, the last shot echoes and fades. Every zombie gone. A zombie horde in the 5 digits stopped. For the first time in a long while, humanity sees a glimmer of hope. Across town, after a full night's rest, Yubin jolts awake and sits up. He looks around and finds Jenny sitting beside him, watching him with a quiet smile. A wave of embarrassment hits him instantly. He turns away and clears his throat. Yubin takes a few sips from a drink, notices the others are nowhere to be seen, and asks Jenny where they went. She answers honestly, the moment the sun came up, they said they were going for medicine. Yubin spits out his drink. He mutters under his breath and tries to stand, but his leg fires back with a bolt of pain. It drops him before he's halfway up, and he slams straight onto the floor. Jenny tells him not to worry. They made a promise. They'd fight with everything they have and come back alive with the medicine. Yubin is at a loss for words, feeling a surge of helplessness. After all, his injuries make it nearly impossible for him to move right now. Seeing him finally let it go, Jenny gets up to take care of her own things. She fills a basin with water and starts doing laundry. She knows what it takes to survive in a world like this. She has to make herself useful. Yubin can't just sit there and watch a celebrity washing everyone's clothes. He limps over to help. Jenny looks up with a bright, innocent smile. Thank you, Oppa. That one word, Oppa, nearly breaks him. A dopey grin spreads across his face before he can stop it. He catches himself just in time, slaps his own cheek and pulls it back together. He silently calls himself every kind of idiot. Of all the times to be thinking about that. Get it together, he mutters, then immediately sneaks a glance. One look is all it takes. He's completely done for. Not that anyone could blame him. That face is simply not fair. Jenny suddenly turns around. Appa, I heard everything. Sheriff told me you're a Terra fanboy. The words hit Yubin like a thunderbolt, rattling his brain. In his head, he's already cursing Sheriff and his entire lineage. All he can do is bow his head and scrub the laundry with a vengeance, desperate to wash away the embarrassment. Watching him squirm, Jenny finally bursts out laughing. Appa, you are genuinely adorable. On the other side of town, Sheriff and the others have made it to the top of a high-rise. Sam Sick studies the zombies through binoculars, tracking their movements. He expected them to wander the same route they have before, but things never stay the same for long. The horde's pattern has shifted, and that's a problem. Oh, Ham-Ma frowns. So, that means yesterday we had about 15 minutes to make a run, and today we have a full 25. More time is better, isn't it? So what's the problem? Sam Sick answers evenly, because we calculated everything based on yesterday's pattern. If that pattern is changing, all our numbers are wrong. Ham-Ma thinks for a second. Then let's just go now and come back fast before the pattern fully shifts. Sam Sick considers it. That's really all they can do. They need that medicine. Yubin's wound can't wait much longer. There are still about 15 zombies on the street. Going for headshots one by one like before would drain them completely. Sheriff suggests a different approach. Target the lower body. Just disable them. No need to kill. Sam-sik thinks it over. Actually, not bad. He even demonstrates the concept on Hanma. Hanma nearly jumps out of his skin. Jokes aside, when the timing looks right, Sheriff and Sam-sik head out, leaving Hanma alone on lookout. A few minutes later, the two of them slip quietly out of the subway station entrance, weapons ready. The zombies sense movement and surge toward them. Sheriff swings. A direct hit to the zombie's lower body, but the zombie doesn't go down. It's still thrashing, still moving. Sheriff's stomach drops. Sam-sik, run! The plan has failed. Sam-sik doesn't hesitate. He turns and sprints. 12 zombies ahead close in fast. Sheriff realizes the previous plan is a bust. He pivots, ditching the lower body strategy to focus on headshots, though he isn't sure how many he can take down. Whatever survives the initial strike, Sam-sik handles the cleanup. Together they cut through every obstacle in their path and take down every zombie between them and the pharmacy door. No time to hesitate. They push inside and start packing whatever medicine they can find. They don't know what's useful and what isn't, so they grab a little of everything until their bags are full. Less than 10 minutes before the next wave. Plenty of time to get out. They step out of the pharmacy, bags loaded, feeling like the hard part is over. The zombies are already back, and they are dangerously close. Sam-sik does the math instantly. Making it back to the fence from here isn't realistic. He drops his weapon, steps up onto an air conditioning unit, and leaps, both hands catching the rooftop ledge. Sheriff doesn't pause. Same move, drops the weapon, steps up, leaps. They make it to the roof. That was a close call. Once he catches his breath, Sam-sik starts turning it over in his head. How did this happen? By his calculations, the other group shouldn't have returned for another 5 minutes. So why? Then something clicks. He rushes to the balcony and looks down. Sheriff stares at him, completely lost. Sure enough, another group of zombies emerges from the street below, confirming exactly what Sam-sik suspected. While we were watching from the rooftop, we noticed that the times the zombies appeared had changed, but the duration they spent on the street remained the same. If the speed is the same, but it's taking them longer to arrive, there's only one explanation. The roaming radius has expanded. The ones that just hit us, they came from the next neighborhood over. Sheriff goes completely still. Meanwhile, Hanma senses something is off and strolls back to the construction site at his own leisurely pace. Only at the entrance does he start his little performance, running into their view. Yubin immediately asks where the others are. Hanma bends over, panting. Give me a second. That sets Yubin off. I saw you. You didn't start running until you were practically at the door. Cut the act. Caught red-handed, Hanma drops the performance and tells him everything. Yubin freezes. He knows Sam-sik better than anyone. The man doesn't make mistakes with zombie patterns. So if something went wrong, it can't be human error. Something has changed. No time to think it through. He grabs Hanma's discarded backpack and heads out. He was going to bring Hanma along, but Hanma refuses immediately. His reason? Someone has to stay and protect Jenny. That actually lands. Leaving Jenny alone really would be reckless. So Yubin decides he'll go alone. Jenny watches him limp away and can't stand it. She calls after him to take her with him. Yubin shakes her hand off and snaps at her. Stay here, that's already helping me. She tries to say something else. He cuts her off again. That's exactly why I can't bring you. Just keeping myself upright is already a struggle. If I have to look after you too, I won't be able to fight. He turns and walks away, leaving Jenny standing there, not knowing what to do with herself. After yelling at her, guilt creeps in. She was trying to help, and he bit her head off. What a jerk he is. Hanma tries to comfort Jenny, saying, he's just scared for his friends. That's all. Jenny knows. She just can't shake the hollow feeling in her chest. And then, footsteps. Yubin walks back. All that fire from before is completely gone. He looks at Jenny and apologizes. Jenny, I'm sorry for snapping at you. I know you meant well. I can't promise I'll be able to protect you, but if you're willing, will you come with me? Those words sweep the heaviness right out of her chest. She says yes before he even finishes the sentence. A short while later, the two of them reach a high-rise to get a better look at the situation. Good news, Sam-sik and Sheriff aren't in immediate danger. They're just trapped on a rooftop. Unfortunately, the distance is just too far. Besides, there are at least 50 zombies downstairs, so they must carefully observe their movement patterns. With that, Yubin picks up a small knife and starts carving calculations into the wall. Currently, there are 3 separate groups of zombies. Based on their previous estimates, they only have a 5-minute window to escape. If the path is clear, a straight dash would leave them with plenty of time. But with zombies in the way, every second of that buffer disappears fast. How do they make this work? The time crunch is starting to rattle him. Jenny notices his tension. She turns toward the direction of the rooftop and mimes pulling back a slingshot. Yubin stares at her blankly. You know, like in the movies, you fire an arrow with a rope attached, it lodges in the wall, and then we hold on and slide all the way across. Yubin gives an awkward smile, thinking to himself, she really has a wild imagination. Then something sparks. He looks up at the surrounding buildings. The gap between each floor level is only about 1 to 2 meters. Jenny's idea isn't as crazy as he thought. The rope part might not work, but something else could. Anything that bridges the gap between 2 walls would do. With a plan forming, they head back to the subway station. They pry out the interior chain link fence panels and prop them against a vending machine. Once everything is set up, Yubin tells Jenny to climb on and test the weight. Jenny has figured out the plan by now. She jumps up without hesitation and wobbles her way across. Yubin braces himself, mustering every last ounce of strength he has. Jenny catches a glimpse of his face, and the moment turns awkward fast. Yubin immediately clarifies, it's just the wound acting up. She accepts that and keeps going. Soon Jenny reaches the top of the vending machine. The method works. She tries the return trip, also fine. Then they hoist the chain link fence panels and take off toward the first building as fast as they can carry them. The noise draws zombies immediately. They swarm in from all directions. Yubin and Jenny don't flinch. They keep moving. They make it. The chain link fence goes down. Yu-bin locks his hands together and crouches down, signaling for Jenny to step up first. No time to waste. She steps into his hands, launches herself upward and grabs the ledge. Once she's up, Yu-bin steps back. He takes a running start and goes for the leap, but the hours of sustained intensity have torn his wound back open. Blood runs down his leg. He grits his teeth. Adrenaline surges through him. He throws himself upward and catches the ledge by the absolute thinnest margin. A zombie's hand grazes his foot as he pulls himself up. They haul the chain link fence up to the roof together. That's when Yu-bin notices Jenny's clothes are torn. He glances at a clothesline hanging nearby, something turning over in his mind. A little while later, Jenny reappears in a fresh change of clothes. They're plain, bordering on frumpy, but somehow on her they look completely natural. A star really is something else. No more time to admire. They get to work, laying the chain link fence flat across the gap between two buildings to form a bridge. Jenny looks down, 3 stories up, with a sea of zombies directly below. The fear hits her all at once, but there's no room for hesitation now. She takes a breath and steps onto the fence. One step in, the fence lets out a sharp crack. Jenny startles, her whole body swaying. She drops into a crouch fast enough to catch her balance. A very close call. Moving with careful, measured steps, she inches her way across and makes it to the other side. Once Jenny is safely across, Yu-bin ties the other end of the rope to an iron beam with a slip knot. Then he makes his way across the chain link fence, one careful step at a time. He pulls the rope and fence back in, onto the next building. At that same moment, 2 residents in the building have spotted them approaching. Their expressions turn predatory, especially when they get a good look at Jenny. Whatever restraint they had left disappears entirely. The gap between this building and the next is wider than before. Yu-bin decides to modify the chain link fence, extend its reach. While he's working, something prickles at the back of his neck. His eyes drift toward the door, and he sees a shadow. He signals Jenny immediately, "Don't make a sound, back up slowly." He scans the room for something, anything, to barricade the door. One look around, the flower pot is the best option. He takes 1 second to think, then charges straight at the door. The 2 men on the other side clearly saw it coming. The moment it opens a crack, Yu-bin slams into it and shoves them back. Jenny seizes the moment, throws her whole body into moving the flower pot and wedges it against the door. The men on the other side keep banging, insisting they mean no harm. They want to team up, go out and find food together. The condition: hand Jenny over to them. That stops both of them cold. After a pause, Yu-bin sets his jaw. "No." The man sounds confused. "Why not?" Yu-bin snaps. "Are you joking? Who in their right mind would hand their woman over to someone else? I'd rather be dead." At those words, Jenny's face goes completely red. Then the banging stops. Yu-bin is confused until the next second, when that instinct fires again. He shouts for Jenny to get clear, and almost simultaneously the window shatters. 2 faces leer through the broken glass, cold and menacing. "If you won't hand her over, then you die." The burly man pushes through the broken window and spots the flower pot blocking the door. He reaches to knock it aside, but Yu-bin is not about to let him have his way. He steps right up and brings the wrench down hard. The burly man has no time to move. His hand takes the full hit, knuckles gone purple from the blow. A stream of curses follows. The lean man kicks the door open and comes through with a cleaver. Yu-bin raises his wrench. His cut-resistant gloves give him at least that much confidence going in. The fight erupts. Yu-bin has gone toe-to-toe with zombies. One clean swing, and the cleaver goes flying out of the lean man's hand. The momentum flips instantly. Yu-bin presses the advantage. The next swing connects squarely with the lean man's head. He drops to his knees, hands clasped over his face, trembling uncontrollably. Then Jenny screams, "Behind you!" Too late, the burly man seizes Yu-bin from behind and lifts him, trying to throw him over the edge, but he digs in and holds his ground firmly. Guess the saying's right, gym muscles just can't compete with real construction site strength. Then a searing shot of pain rips through his leg. The wound is torn open again. Through the pain, Yu-bin hammers the wrench into the man's back over and over, but it does nothing. Then the lean man shakes off the hit and climbs back to his feet. He scoops up the cleaver and comes in again. Yu-bin's mind goes cold. This is bad. He has to break free, now. He swings the wrench faster. Still nothing. Then through the haze of pain, his eyes catch the taut rope beside him, and a plan snaps into place. Wrap it around the burly man's neck. He pulls with everything he has. The man chokes hard, gasping. The lean man doesn't even look at his partner. He keeps coming, cleaver raised. Yu-bin thought he was going for the rope. He wasn't. The blade comes straight for Yu-bin's body. Blood drips to the floor, one drop at a time. His right hand, the one in the cut-resistant glove, has seized the blade barehanded, but the tip is already driven into his side. The rope goes slack. The burly man gulps down air, and then, another surge of strength. Sudden and unexpected. It's Jenny, who senses something is wrong and yanks the rope tight. The lean man's attention is pulled away. Yu-bin seizes the moment and slams his wrench down, knocking the cleaver right out of the lean man's hand. The lean man curses and clamps both hands around Yu-bin's throat. At that moment, the burly man spots the fallen cleaver and reaches for it. Yu-bin shouts to Jenny, "Jenny, fall back!" No hesitation. Jenny falls straight back. Seizing the moment, Yu-bin throws both arms around the lean man in a vice grip. Then he leaps, taking the man with him off the edge. The sudden jolt nearly launches Jenny into the air. Fortunately, the burly man's body is wedged against the wall, absorbing the impact. But the force is too great. His neck snaps and he goes still. Jenny is in shock, frozen for a long moment before coming back to herself. Feeling the rope go slack in her hands, she instinctively fears Yu-bin's knot has come undone. She rushes to the balcony and looks down. The lean man has a death grip on Yu-bin's collar, both of them dangling in midair. Seeing Jenny is safe, Yu-bin feels a small wave of relief. Then he turns to face the man responsible for all of this, and hatred drives him to pry the man's fingers apart with everything he has. A crack rings out. The man screams in agony, begging Yu-bin to spare his life. The cries stir a flicker of pity in Yu-bin. He wonders if this is really the right thing to do, but then the faces of his friends flash through his mind. The thought of their smiles. He can't fall here. Not like this. Thinking this, Yubin hardens his eyes with resolve. He pries with all his strength. Another crack, and the man's grip breaks. The man plummets straight down, eyes wide with despair, and is swallowed by the zombies below. With the last of his strength, Yubin hauls himself back up. Seeing him safe, Jenny can't hold back her tears. They spill over. Yubin pats her on the back and murmurs words of comfort. It takes a while before they both settle down. Then they decide to change clothes before moving on. A few minutes later, they make their way to the third floor. Looking down, they realize the path to the second floor is completely blocked off. Fortunately, the third floor is well stocked. They even find a medical kit, just in time to treat Yubin's waist wound. There's also food and a change of clothes. After a while, they each change, Jenny into a sporty outfit, Yubin into leopard print pants and a pink top. Freshly changed, they press on as planned. Though this time, the gap between buildings is noticeably wider. That gives Jenny a quiet moment of doubt. Fear or no fear, the path must be walked. With that, Jenny steadies her pace and moves forward. A close call, but Jenny lands safely. Seeing her safe, Yubin gets ready to make his own crossing. Before long, they face a new challenge. The building opposite them is just too tall. Reaching the rooftop is out of the question. It seems they're left with no choice but to smash a window. To check if anyone's inside, Yubin picks up a small pebble and tosses it across. Dead silence from the other side. By the looks of it, the place is empty. Yubin reaches for a brick to throw, but Jenny stops him. She mentions she once threw the opening pitch at a major Korean tournament, so she's pretty confident in her aim. Yubin hands the brick over. Jenny takes it. She winds up, channels every bit of her strength, and lets it fly. Dead on. The window across shatters on impact. Yubin breaks into applause. Jenny, I didn't know you had it in you. No time to waste. They lay the chain link fence across the gap between the two buildings. Same as before, Jenny goes first. After so many crossings, she's gotten the hang of it. She clears it quickly. Now it's Yubin's turn. But the moment he steps onto the fence, a strange noise erupts from above. He looks up. Drawn by the scent of the living, a swarm of zombies smashes through the windows overhead. They pour down, most crashing into railings or dropping straight to the ground. But one lands right in front of Yubin, jaw wide open, lunging straight at him. Quick on his feet, Yubin sidesteps the attack and loops the rope around the zombie's legs. Reaching the other side, the two of them pull the rope taut together. The zombie loses its balance and plunges to the ground far below. Another close call, but they're okay. They press on, just one more building to go. That's when they spot each other across the gap. Hands reach out in greeting. After everything, the crew is finally back together. Days later, the tank support unit finally arrives, and the people at the research institute are cleared to head out and scavenge for supplies. Jin Yu and Corporal Kim are among those selected for the mission. The tank unit lieutenant barks the order, everyone mount up, now. This mission is critical. First priority is the fuel station 10 kilometers out. Nobody wastes a second. They scramble onto the tanks. Once everyone is aboard, the convoy rolls forward in full force. It's a nighttime operation, and everyone's hearts are in their throats. The silence inside the tank is almost unbearable. Corporal Kim whispers to Jin Yu to say something. Anything. Jin Yu looks baffled. Like what? The sound comes out way too loud. Corporal Kim cringes, but just like that, the tension cracks. A soldier with stripes on his shoulders speaks. Thanks for lightening the mood. Since we've started, let's get the introductions out of the way. I'm Lee Il-byong. My name might mean private, but my rank is sergeant. I'm your squad leader. Jin Yu jumps in before anyone else. I'm Park Jin Yu, nice to meet you. The move immediately ruffles Corporal Kim's feathers. A mere private cutting in before a veteran? Jin Yu is at a total loss for words. Wasn't it Corporal Kim himself who just asked him to speak up? And just like that, the rest of the ride passes in laughter. Soon after, the tank rolls to a stop. They've reached the fuel station. Jin Yu glances at the monitor. They're still short of it. The tank is stopped outside the station perimeter, and sure enough, there are zombies. The lieutenant raises his binoculars. A handful of zombies are visible out front, but how many are hiding is anyone's guess. The lieutenant thinks it over. Shooting is out. It could trigger an explosion. Rolling through is possible, but the tank treads might not survive it. The safest move, send someone on foot to lure the zombies away. That lucky job falls to Jin Yu's group. They try to push back, but the lieutenant simply drives off, leaving them stranded and speechless. After a long pause, Jin Yu puts forward a bold idea. It makes sense. They move immediately. Sergeant Lee and another soldier go first to draw the zombies' attention. They lead them into the car wash bay, where the others are already waiting. Once the zombies are inside, their movement is restricted, and there's no risk of stray bullets sparking a fire. Opening fire at this moment would be the perfect way to finish them off. Silence returns as the last of the zombies fall. Jin Yu's plan works perfectly. Not a single casualty. The method is flawless, but the lieutenant is furious. He demands to know why they disobeyed orders, and he makes a threat when they get back, he'll make their lives hell. Jin Yu and Corporal Kim seethe in silence, swallowing their frustration. After that little episode, the convoy moves on. Inside the tank, the grumbling starts. They cleared the zombies, secured the fuel, and still got chewed out for it. To lighten the mood, Corporal Kim pulls something mysterious from inside his jacket. He unfolds it, and it's a pink punch poster. The moment everyone lays eyes on it, they're hooked. Nobody can look away. Corporal Kim grins. Now you know the power of 3 stripes. While the others joke around, a strange smell drifts through the air, and Jin Yu catches it. Blood, mixed with the rot of zombies. Every hair on Jin Yu's body stands on end. A tremor runs through him without warning. Corporal Kim notices something is off and asks what's wrong. Jin Yu forces himself to stay calm. I think there are zombies nearby, he says under his breath. Sergeant Lee isn't convinced. If there were zombies, we would have heard it over the radio. Maybe you're overthinking it. He doesn't get to finish. The tank slams to a halt. Then the radio crackles. All units, zombies at 12 o'clock. 12 o'clock. box. Scale 3. Scale 3. Tank unit, prepare for combat. I'm taking direct command of all vehicles. Tank 1, advance and mark the target. Tank 2, provide cover for Tank 1. Suppressive fire. Tank 3, hold and protect the fuel truck. All units move out. Inside Tank 1, Jinyu keeps his eyes locked on the monitor. For now, things are still under control. Then the tank hits a zombie. The camera is damaged. The monitor goes dark. The lieutenant screams at the driver, "What the hell is going on up there? Why's the feed dead?" The driver explains that a zombie took out the camera. Panicking, the lieutenant orders Tank 2 sergeant to shoot at the surface of Tank 1 to clear the zombie. That reckless call destroys Tank 1's radio, cutting them off from the outside world entirely. No contact, and bullets are pinging off the hull. Even the steadiest soldier would feel the panic creeping in. The lieutenant beats the radio with his fist. All that comes back is static. Then, without warning, an explosion outside. Nobody has time to react. They are thrust into a gut-wrenching moment of weightlessness. The lieutenant loses his nerve. Blind to the outside, he orders the tank to pivot 90 degrees and crawl forward to shake the zombies loose. That wrong call sends the tank straight into a parked car nearby. The explosion is massive. The tank tumbles into the depths and is rendered dead in its tracks. Inside, the impact has damaged several instruments. Thick black smoke begins filling the cabin. The lieutenant has taken internal injuries. Blood pours from his nose. Within 2 seconds, he's out cold. In the rear compartment, Corporal Kim and the others scramble for the fire extinguishers. It barely helps. As long as the hatch stays shut, the smoke alone will kill them. No time to think. Jinyu climbs up, grabs the hatch with one hand and shouts, "Opening the hatch!" Below, the others raise their weapons, ready to cover him. He strains and pushes, but the hatch won't budge on his own. Corporal Kim rushes up to help. Together, they manage to crack it open, just barely. Corporal Kim rolls his shoulder, cursing under his breath. Jinyu drops back down. The main hatch isn't going to open. Their only option now is the side hatch. That one should still be intact. Corporal Kim slaps his thigh and signals for Jinyu to climb up. Jinyu doesn't hesitate. He climbs onto Corporal Kim's shoulders. Together, everyone pushes. Jinyu finds the handle and twists. He shoves it open with a heavy clang. The noise draws the zombies outside. Their shrieks tear through the air. Jinyu grabs his rifle and fires rapidly at the zombies ahead, too focused to notice what's closing in. By the time he does, one is already on top of him. It snaps its jaws at him. Jinyu throws his rifle up to block. Then he twists and flings it down into the tank. Everyone inside opens fire, but fear has taken over. The shots miss the zombie. One round hits a teammate in the leg. Blood erupts. Sergeant Lee senses something is wrong and drops down to check the wound. The others keep firing and hammering, completely out of their minds with fear. Jinyu knows that if this drags on any longer, they'll all lose it completely. He makes up his mind and climbs back up. This time, he's smarter about it. He uses his helmet to probe the outside first. Sure enough, a zombie is lurking just outside. The moment it lunges at the helmet, Jinyu already has his gun trained on its head. 2 shots. Both land clean. The gunfire draws more. Jinyu keeps firing every single shot a clean headshot. Within moments, every zombie is down. Jinyu glances at Tank 2, still too far away to offer any support, so he calls down for the others to come up. They don't hesitate. They pour out, take their positions, and open fire. The shooting goes on for a while. They swing open the lieutenant's hatch. He remains disoriented inside. Through the haze, he makes out a strong, familiar face. Park Jinyu. The lieutenant snaps awake. "What the hell? I thought I'd cracked my skull open. Private, report. Pull me up first." He reaches out his hand, but Jinyu just stands there, expression completely blank. "Are you deaf? I asked for a status report, you little." Only then does Jinyu reach down and pull him up. Threat neutralized. All zombies in the area have been eliminated. On top of the tank, the lieutenant spits and mutters, "Look at yourselves, all proud, like you're the ones who took them all out." The words die in his throat. He can see it now. Tank 2 is far back, which means all those zombies swarming around them were taken out by these ordinary soldiers standing right in front of him. But how did they even? Jinyu stops him. His eyes carry a quiet disappointment and a kind of exhausted acceptance. "Lieutenant, welcome to the real battlefield." Elsewhere at the safe shelter, Lim Soo-jin has finally served her full 48 hours of quarantine and is released. She's handed a supply pack from the military, just bare essentials. The food ration is painfully thin. She's still wondering what comes next when Taera, released a day earlier, comes walking straight toward her. Taera's face lights up, warm and bright, as if greeting an old friend she hasn't seen in years. After a brief exchange, Taera leads Soo-jin to a storage locker. Soo-jin starts sorting through her things. To her surprise, there is a condom tucked among the supplies. Taera glances over. Well, everyone has different priorities. Our top priority, though, food. How do I put this? We're actually not short on food right now. Taera's fame is hard to ignore. Soldiers keep showing up with food to offer. One donation after another. It just kept piling up. But not everyone is kind. There are always those who whisper behind her back, green with envy. Soo-jin is about to speak up on Taera's behalf, but Taera stops her. You can't control what comes out of other people's mouths. Taera then brings Soo-jin to the sleeping area. It's crowded with children and their mothers. Not a lot of space, but it's the safest corner of the entire shelter. Soo-jin frowns. The safest? What does that mean exactly? Before Taera can answer, a swarm of children comes rushing over. Taera hands out the snacks she just received. The children squeal with delight and run straight back to their mothers. The sight hits Soo-jin somewhere deep. She thinks of her own mother. By evening, everyone has settled into sleep, but even here, there are those with bad intentions. 2 men make a vile proposition, spend 1 night with them, and they'll provide food. The woman flatly refuses and starts packing to move elsewhere. The scene puts Soo-jin on edge, but Taera tells her not to worry. In this spot, nothing will happen to you. Not here. Soo-jin blinks and instinctively looks around. Every single mother in the room has her eyes fixed on those 2 men. Cold, furious, unwavering. reassuring. So that's what Taira meant by safe. A few days later, at the hospital, Kang Myung-gu's injuries have mostly healed and he's working through his rehabilitation. He stops after 100 reps and it frustrates him. He used to manage 500 without breaking a sweat. He pulls his clothes back on and peers down below, muttering under his breath, "Stubborn things." While venting under his breath, he glimpses a motorcycle dealership just ahead. It's actually right there. He's still turning it over in his mind when a figure creeps up behind him. Myung-gu lets out a quiet sigh. Then in one fluid motion, he spins around and locks a perfect chokehold. Shim Jonghyun slaps out, "Myung-gu, let's go." Jonghyun stares down at the zombies wandering below, her face heavy with worry. When is this ever going to end? Myung-gu answers with calm. "Two options, starve in here, or go out and fight." Jonghyun presses her hands together and murmurs a quiet prayer. "I'll take the third option, that a rescue team shows up in time." Myung-gu isn't exactly a believer in that kind of thing, but when he tilts his head up toward the sky, maybe there's something to it, after all. Over a loudspeaker on the helicopter, a voice calls out, "Attention all survivors. We are an emergency rescue team. Please open your windows and wave, or make your way to the rooftop. This is your last chance before the rescue team withdraws from this area." The broadcast is muffled and distorted. Myung-gu hesitates. Something about it feels off. He tells Jonghyun to hold on a moment, but Jonghyun isn't hearing any of it. She's already turning to go find the doctor. Moments later, Jonghyun and the doctor are out on the balcony waving their bed sheets. Myung-gu thinks about saying something, then gives up and quietly takes a seat off to the side. The helicopter spots them quickly and drops a rope. Out of courtesy, Myung-gu offers one last warning: "Those people don't look military. Think carefully before you go." The response he gets: "It doesn't matter, even if they're not military. Anything is better than staying in this hell." Myung-gu doesn't push it. He just silently takes a sip of his cola. Three men drop down from the helicopter. They tell Myung-gu and the others to get into the cage fast. Jonghyun and the doctor don't think twice. They run straight in. Myung-gu stays in his chair. Not a move. Ranger vests, machine guns, bayonets, and three-section staffs. He's seen that combination somewhere before. "I'll pass. You go ahead." The leader furrows his brow, face twisting with irritation. "Sir, you need to get up. Now. If you don't cooperate, the others with you will also be removed from our evacuation list." Myung-gu doesn't budge. "That's your call, not my problem. Or are you looking for a bit of excitement?" He follows it with a perfectly pleasant smile. The two men are visibly rattled. Cold sweat breaks out without warning. "Right, I remember now. That get-up, playing soldier when you're anything but." That lands. The man's composure shatters. "If you can't keep that mouth shut, maybe you shouldn't open it at all." Myung-gu smiles lightly. 2 years ago, wasn't it? We worked together. Now get out of my sight. I don't know what you're planning, and I want no part of it. The man erupts. He grabs Myung-gu by the collar. He signals to the others, "Pull back with the cage now, come back for the next round." Without hesitation, they signal the pilot, and the helicopter pulls away with the cage. With the audience gone, the men drop all pretense. A hard slap lands on the back of Myung-gu's head, then a kick, and Myung-gu goes down. He smiles faintly and slowly rights the chair. He sits back down and dusts himself off. One of the men has had enough. He pulls out a three-section staff, ready to make an example of him. Myung-gu almost laughs out loud. They have knives, they have guns, and they reach for a three-section staff. As he speaks, Myung-gu crushes the cola can in his hand, folding it into a sharp, jagged edge. When the man comes at him, Myung-gu sidesteps. Then one clean fluid slash across the throat. The man doesn't even have time to react. The other man reaches for his gun, but Myung-gu is faster. He pivots and shoves the crushed can straight into the man's mouth. Then he drives forward, slamming the two of them into each other. Myung-gu slips behind one man, grabs his head and wrenches it down. A knee drives straight into the man's spine. He crumples. No fight left in him. The last man snaps back to reality, raises the machine gun and chambers around. Too bad for him. One kick, and he flies. The can in his mouth shoots out along with a gush of blood, and he's out instantly. The other man, the one who took the knee to his spine, is in full panic now. He can't feel his legs. Myung-gu drops him to the floor without ceremony. He starts going through their gear. A combat knife turns up, 5,160 steel no less. While he's still searching, the helicopter that pulled away comes circling back. The men on board open fire without a word, no concern at all for their teammates below. Myung-gu reacts fast and dives through the stairwell door just in time. The man left outside isn't so lucky. Unable to move, he takes the full volley. With no sign of Myung-gu, the two men on the helicopter cut their losses and leave. Myung-gu watches it shrink into the distance before finally letting his guard down. He glances at the two on the ground. One is already gone. The other barely made it. Myung-gu wraps the wound loosely, then slaps the man awake. "Talk. What were you people planning to do with those survivors?" The man says nothing, just gasps for air. Myung-gu drives the knife into the man's arm. "I'm only going to ask this one more time. Where were you taking them and what for?" The man panics. His hand instinctively slides behind his back, feeling for something. But that little move doesn't slip past Myung-gu's eagle eyes. "Still trying something? What is that? A needle?" The man's voice shakes. "It's called DEM. They say it can paralyze the heart, stops it from beating for 10 minutes. Myung-gu pauses for just a second. Something like that actually exists. Then he presses the DEM into the man's thigh. The man goes out instantly. Myung-gu checks the pulse. Sure enough, nothing. Even the wound on his leg has stopped bleeding, as if the blood itself has frozen. 10 minutes later, a violent fit of coughing. The man's stilled blood begins to move again. The moment the man stirs, Myung-gu grabs the wound on his thigh. "Now talk. Where did you take those people?" The man howls in agony, tears streaming down his face. With no way out, he tells everything. "Our young chairman was bitten. He turned. The chairman refused to let his son end up like the filth out on the streets, so he's been keeping him, locked away in a sealed chamber. And the young chairman's food, exactly what you're thinking. The people we bring in. Myung-gu listens without a flicker of surprise. So that's it. You people are morally bankrupt, far more unhinged than a street thug like me. He stands and turns to leave. The man reaches out, begging to be saved. Myung-gu just smiles lightly. I'm a street thug, not a doctor. Saving lives isn't really my specialty. So I'll give you two options. 1, I end it now. 2, I leave you here to figure it out on your own. The man turns his face away. He doesn't have the courage to choose death. Myung-gu sighs. Figures, most people end up taking the harder road. A moment later, he gathers his things and prepares to leave this mess behind. A knife, a gun, the strange dem needle, and some basic supplies. Everything he needs, more or less. He opens the window. He drops to the ground outside the hospital. The noise draws zombies almost immediately. Myung-gu doesn't hesitate. He raises the machine gun and opens fire. The problem is his aim with a gun is mediocre at best, mostly body shots. He puts the gun away and draws his combat knife. If range isn't working, he'll close the distance. In close combat, if Myung-gu claims to be second, no one dares to claim first. He dispatches the zombie in front of him with ease. Another comes at him. Myung-gu sidesteps on instinct, but the zombie charges straight ahead anyway. Something interesting occurs to him. Do these zombies have no concept of close quarters combat at all? Just pure, mindless instinct? He tests the theory. A single feint, and he slips right past. Just as he suspected. If that's how it works, this just got a lot easier. Myung-gu weaves through the oncoming zombies with fluid, effortless footwork. He reaches the motorcycle dealership across the way and gets one of the bikes running. He rides away without a backward glance, beginning a whole new chapter of adventure. Meanwhile, inside the Ministry of Defense on Jeju Island, General Che formally requests authorization from his superiors to carry out targeted bombing of infected zones. His superior's mouth twitches. General Che, the bombing itself, I agree with it. Most of those areas are lost anyway. But your attitude, I won't accept it. Bursting in here, throwing a tantrum like a child, acting like you're above orders. The words land visibly. Che's expression darkens, eyes going cold. He's done being patient with people like this. He walks out without looking back. His superiors barely notice. They go right on eating and drinking. Once he's gone, the superior's expression turns grave. The truth is, he isn't trying to obstruct General Che. The US has gone completely silent, and without that guidance, he can't commit to a decision on his own. Meanwhile, things in the States are no better. Zombies infest every corner, and the only survivors are a fortunate few clinging to safety aboard aircraft carriers out at sea. The president doesn't hesitate. When it becomes clear the situation cannot be contained, he authorizes a wide area bombing. He knows exactly what this makes him, a villain in the history books. But if he does nothing, America is finished. So he must deploy that weapon, one that brings both calamity and hope. May tomorrow be a better day. Back on the other side, some time has passed since Yubin and Jenny successfully reunited with Sheriff. Today, Sheriff decides to take the group up the mountain to map out the area. Better preparation for future movements. Jenny asks to come along. Sheriff turns her down flat. Yubin's leg wound still hasn't healed. Jenny watches the three of them go, helpless to do anything else. Yubin speaks gently. Jenny, they're just worried about you, same as yesterday. Why push to go somewhere full of zombies? Doesn't that scare you? Of course it does. But sitting here on edge, waiting, and ending up alone, that scares me more. Hearing this, Yubin drifts into thought. Maybe he could craft a weapon for Jenny. But given her small, slender frame, what kind of weapon would even fit her? Meanwhile, Sheriff and the others make their way into the forest. As they walk, they unexpectedly come across a mountain spring, its basin hand-carved into the rock. The moment Ham Ma hears spring water, he rushes over and scoops up a mouthful. He drinks it down in one go, completely unaware that Sheriff and Sam Sik are staring at the warning sign nearby in disbelief. A long moment passes before he senses something is off and glances to the side. The sign reads in bold letters, "Not safe for direct consumption." The water had tested positive for E. coli. His face goes pale. Sheriff and Sam Sik can only stand there telling him it should be fine. The three press on and soon reach the midpoint of the mountain, where they find a trail map and 2 vending machines. Sam Sik carefully copies the map into his notebook, determined not to miss a single detail. Sheriff takes one look and his jaw drops. Your drawing skills are truly something else, all over the place. Seeing that Sam Sik is still focused, Sheriff doesn't bother him, and lets his gaze wander. He spots a sightseeing telescope nearby. Looks like it takes coins. If it needs coins, that's easy enough. He swings his sledgehammer and smashes it open. Sheriff counts the loose change he's retrieved. Sam Sik tries to show him something, but Sheriff has zero interest in his drawing and flat out refuses. Sam Sik clarifies, it's not his drawing. He's found a map marking the locations of shelters. Unfortunately, every shelter is a significant distance away. Setting out now is clearly not an option. For now, they focus on what's within reach. Sheriff starts fiddling with the telescope. He drops in some coins, adjusts the angle. Good, it still works. The city below is engulfed in flames. Not a single person in sight. As he scans the view, a question begins to nag at him. Why are there so many zombies concentrated in one area, while the downtown district barely has any? Back with the others, Yubin hurries over to Jenny and says he has something for her. She's puzzled. He slowly pulls out a rope-like object and says, this is a bola. It's a weapon, for your protection. He then demonstrates how to use it. The bola is easy in theory, tricky in practice. The hard part is control. It's easy to lose your target, and it demands real precision. Clearly, Yubin's own control leaves something to be desired. Jenny seems to catch on. She raises her hand and asks to try. Yubin agrees. So Jenny takes her first shot. Perhaps because she isn't used to it yet, she uses way too much force. Yubin is about to warn her that this makes it nearly impossible to aim, but she's already let it fly. He braces for a miss. It's a direct direct hit. The force is so powerful the small tree nearly gets ripped out by its roots. Yubin stares and the words just slip out. Damn, that was dead on. Jenny teases him. Appa, what were you just about to say? He rubs the back of his head awkwardly. Nothing, you did great, but don't get overconfident, you still can't let your guard down against zombies. Jenny knows this well and nods repeatedly, but then it occurs to her, it's always been Yubin giving her things. Shouldn't she return the favor somehow? Yubin waves it off. All of this was his choice, no repayment needed. Before he can finish, Jenny suddenly says, then how about a kiss? Yubin freezes. His face goes completely red. Staring at Jenny's lips, he feels his heart pounding out of his chest. After a long moment, he stammers out, what are you saying? We're not kids, you can't joke about things like that. Good thing it's me. Any other guy would have taken that seriously. Before he can finish, Jenny leans in close and says softly, Appa, I'm not joking. A gentle breeze passes between them. Jenny closes her eyes and waits. Yubin is caught completely off guard, his heart hammering wildly. Is she serious? Or is this just her way of saying thank you? I need to pull back. That's what his mind says. But his face slowly drifts closer anyway. At that critical moment, Sheriff's voice calls out from a distance. Yubin snaps back to reality. He turns away and clears his throat, not wanting Sheriff to notice anything. Jenny's eyes are full of frustration, but there's nothing she can do. She composes herself and shows off the weapon to the group. Sheriff recognizes the bola immediately and praises Yubin, a true genius for crafting something so perfect for Jenny. Meanwhile, at the Samchuk nuclear power plant, Jinyu and his squad return to base after completing their mission and crash into their bunks fast asleep. Suddenly, Jinyu jolts awake, a wave of unease yanking him out of his sleep. Out in the corridor, two soldiers on patrol notice Private Yun. He doesn't look well. They ask what's wrong. He says he's fine, just an upset stomach. The words barely leave his mouth before a wave of nausea hits. He claps a hand over his mouth. He bolts to the bathroom and starts retching. A soldier follows to check on him and is hit by a wave of putrid stench. In the next instant, Private Yun, now turned, lunges forward with his mouth wide open. A second soldier hears the commotion and arrives, only to witness the scene unfolding. No time to think. He grabs a nearby mop and slams it into Private Yun's head. The mop snaps in two. Private Yun doesn't even flinch. Hearing the noise, Jinyu grabs an unloaded rifle and rushes over. In one swift move, he swings his rifle and lands a precise blow to the head. Two more soldiers come running, about to ask what happened. The turned Yun is already upon them. Jinyu swings his rifle again, but a step too slow. Private Yun rakes a wound across Private Han's cheek. A drop of blood runs down his face. The soldiers behind raise their weapons and swarm the zombie together. Jinyu notices Private Han's wounded cheek and falters, hesitant to take his hand. Private Han senses something is wrong. He touches his cheek and sees red on his fingers. Rage surges through him. Han kicks Private Yun's motionless body. The others rush in to hold him back. Jinyu looks more carefully and spots a wound on another soldier's arm as well. He's about to say something when another voice cuts through. The lieutenant has heard the noise and comes to investigate. What's all the noise? Move it, all of you. He walks up to Private Han and examines the wound closely. Then he looks down at Private Yun's motionless body. Who's the squad leader of this idiot? Sergeant Yu Sung-gun steps forward and raises his hand. Sir, that's me. The lieutenant kicks him in the shin without hesitation and unleashes a torrent of furious words. Once done, he orders everyone back to their bunks, no wandering around. Finally, he tells Han to clean up the wound in the bathroom. Just a small cut, should be fine. Han is visibly relieved, but Jinyu standing behind him is sick with worry. He remembers exactly what happened. That was a zombie bite. While Jinyu is still trying to make sense of it, the lieutenant draws his pistol. Two gunshots ring out. Jinyu stands frozen, unable to move. The lieutenant walks out stone-faced and tells Jinyu to get back to his bunk. Jinyu has no choice but to comply, his expression heavy with grief. He understands the logic. Better safe than sorry. But that doesn't make it sit right. Back in the bunk room, Jinyu sits on his bed, too restless to sleep. Something keeps nagging at him. Right, that other soldier also had a wound on his arm. Elsewhere, the lieutenant finishes his patrol and stops at a vending machine for a drink. He barely takes a sip when the zombie, the one that had been wounded, suddenly appears. The lieutenant's face is torn before he can even reach for his gun. The others try to fight back but are no match. Every one of them takes a wound. By the time reinforcements arrive, the damage is done. Those who have turned are shot on sight. Those who are wounded are executed as well. Shortly after, Jinyu's squad takes over guard duty. Corporal Kim fills him in on everything he just heard. Jinyu feels a chill run through him. A small wound, that's all it takes to get a bullet. From now on, any injury has to stay hidden. While Jinyu is lost in thought, helicopters appear overhead. The supply drop has arrived. Once the helicopters land, everyone gets to work unloading supplies. The lieutenant colonel appears, looking haggard, muttering as he walks about how exhausted he's been lately. Corporal Kim steps up with a grin and lights a cigarette for him, hoping to fish out some information. The lieutenant colonel gives a faint smile and offers a brief update. The nearby ammo depot is no longer supplying resources. They'll have to make the trip to Yongshan for ammunition from now on. The fuel depot is slowly being overrun by zombie hordes. Things are getting worse by the day. He delivers the news without breaking stride and walks off without looking back. Plenty more to deal with. Jinyu grips his rifle tight. A feeling settles over him. Something big is coming. Back with the others, Sam 6 group is running low on supplies and gears up for another run. They'd come prepared for a tough fight, but when they arrive above the subway station, the streets, usually swarming with zombies, are completely empty. As the sun sets, they gather around a steaming pot of hot pot and talk over what happened that morning. Normally, zombies start trickling in after about 20 minutes. This time, they were out for 2.5 hours, including supply runs, and didn't encounter a single one. Yubin can't believe it. 2.5 hours is a long time. But where did all the zombies go? Jenny tells everyone to stop talking about zombies for a moment and try the hot pot, made by none other than a super superstar. Suddenly interested, everyone picks up their spoons and digs in. One bite is all it takes. The shock is immediate. Sour, sweet, bitter, spicy, and salty, all merged into one catastrophic flavor. Even a master chef couldn't have pulled that off. Jenny notices the strange expressions around the table and asks, "How is it?" Ham Ma spits it out. The others force it down while fighting back the urge to do the same and manage a weak delicious. Meanwhile, Jinyu's squad receives an unexpected order. Report to a designated location to collect ammunition, but the supplies are pitiful. Just 2 magazines per person. Sergeant Lee is furious. He takes it out on the table and the unlucky private standing right in front of him. While Sergeant Lee has everyone's attention, Jinyu and Corporal Kim slip around to the back and quietly pocket a stack of extra magazines. Then they stroll back into view, casual as ever, and give Sergeant Lee a nod of greeting. Sergeant Lee sees the job is done. He releases the private's collar and storms off, still looking furious for show. He circles back to the rear and asks how many magazines they've managed to get. Corporal Kim gives a thumbs up, 20 total. Now that's a proper number, good work you two. Jinyu picks up a magazine and silently hopes they'll never have to use any of them. Shortly after, the tank company lieutenant calls everyone together and issues the mission briefing. Starting now, we're heading to Samchuk City Hall, located 12 kilometers north of the power plant. The 707th Special Forces will rendezvous with us on site and take point on the operation. We're there for backup. Briefing over. Everyone gears up and moves out at speed. Hours later, the tanks roll to a halt outside Gangwon University. The 707th Special Forces arrive at exactly the same moment. A helicopter touches down, and several operatives in black tactical gear disembark. The lieutenant and their commanding officer exchange salutes. Here's the plan. We're splitting into 2 groups. 2 K-21s will lead the point with the 707th right behind them. The rest of the infantry will bypass to the left and converge at City Hall. That's the briefing. All units commence movement within the minute. Copy that. The operation begins. Sergeant Lee leads his 6-man squad in a slow, cautious advance. Every single one of them is on edge, not daring to let their guard down for even a moment. Any direction could produce a zombie at any moment. Corporal Kim pats Jinyu on the shoulder. Don't overthink it, just stay focused. The words barely leave his mouth when zombies flood the street ahead. Scale 3, hundreds of them. The scouts up front are torn to shreds before they can even get a shot off. Jinyu and the others open fire immediately, but it's not enough to stop the surge. In the chaos, a plan clicks in Jinyu's head. Use a tight space to bottleneck the zombies. No hesitation. He kicks open the nearest door. He waves the others in. Everyone inside, now. The moment everyone is in, Jinyu throws the lock. Sergeant Lee immediately orders the squad to sweep the floors and regroup on the roof. Jinyu stays back with him to hold the line and thin out the first wave. With a deafening crash, the main gate is breached. Jinyu and Sergeant Lee open fire, picking off the lead zombies one by one. The bodies create a temporary barrier, but it won't hold long. It's enough time for the 2 of them to reach the 3rd floor. Jong Won-tae is waiting on the 3rd floor with a machine gun, ready to cut down the next wave. While the stairwell fills with bodies, all 3 sprint for the roof. Moments later, the whole squad is assembled on the rooftop with weapons raised. Sergeant Lee barks out an order. Open fire the second that door gives way. Split into 2 squads and use alternating fire. Jinyu is worried. He's not sure if they have enough ammunition. Corporal Kim reads the concern on his face and hands over 2 of his own magazines. I always fire blanks anyway, he says with a grin. These are worth more in your hands. Jinyu takes them with a nod. Got it. The words barely settle before zombies burst through the door. The squad opens fire in unison and cuts them down in the doorway. The first wave is cleared. The pile of bodies forms a wall across the entrance. They barely catch their breath before another wave of footsteps rises from below. Another flood of zombies comes pouring through. Under sustained fire, the second wave is beaten back. Silence returns below. Looks like the second wave was the last. They've made it through, barely, but alive. Corporal Kim drops to a crouch, gasping for air. Hey, question. How exactly are we getting out of here? The way we came in is completely blocked. Sergeant Lee warns everyone not to let their guard down. The path ahead is definitely blocked, and they can't be sure if it's safe yet. Starting now, they'll keep watch on the front in pairs, rotating in shifts. Hearing they can finally rest, the squad exhales with relief and reaches for water. Corporal Kim scans the distance and spots the 707th Special Forces pushing into the area. Their coordination is flawless. Zombies can barely get close. Sergeant Lee slaps Corporal Kim on the back. If you've got time to stare, use it to figure out how we get down from here. Corporal Kim points to the balcony below. Maybe we can work with that. Jinyu volunteers immediately, raising his hand. He'll go check. Private Kang raises his hand too. He'll follow. The mission begins. Jinyu grips the edge of the balcony with one hand and lowers himself down. Getting down is easy enough. It's what might come charging out that worries him. He lets out a long breath and steels himself. Then he jumps and lands cleanly on the balcony. The moment he's down, he raises his weapon and sweeps the area. The worst case scenario doesn't materialize. The room is empty. With no sign of zombies, Jinyu signals Private Kang to come down. Private Kang enters the room and stops. The layout is identical to his own home. Lost in the moment, he reaches for the bedroom door. Jinyu starts to warn him. It's fine, Private Kang says. We have cleared this whole building. The door opens. Sure enough, a zombie. Private Kang stumbles backward and hits the floor. The zombie is right on him. Jinyu fires just in time, dropping the zombie. Private Kang barely escapes with his life. Jinyu steadies Private Kang. who's still shaking. Private Kang snaps back and starts apologizing. "It's fine," Jinyu says, "but these glasses are done for." Private Kang takes the broken glasses and his heart sinks. He can't see more than 2 meters without them. He's practically useless. Upstairs, Lee hears the gunshot and shouts down anxiously, "What happened?" Jinyu calls back, "All clear. Crisis handled. Come on down." Meanwhile, the 707th Special Forces successfully reach their destination, City Hall. The soldiers who arrived ahead of them have been waiting, but their expressions look off. Lieutenant Park doesn't pay it much mind and heads straight to check on the safe. He confirms it's intact, then asks where the key is. The soldier answers with a trembling voice, "Lieutenant Hio has it, sir. He said the supplies were taking too long, so he went to look for food. Lieutenant Park has a headache brewing, so he went foraging. With the key on him? Damn, do any of you have a brain? Where did he go?" "The mall, sir. About 1 kilometer from here." The vein in Lieutenant Park's forehead pulses, if he remembers correctly. That mall fell days ago. Walking in there is a death sentence. Pass it down, all units to the mall immediately. We need that key before it becomes zombie food. Back with the others after hearing that the zombies outside have vanished the day before, Jenny asks Yubin to take a walk with her. Yubin wants to say no. His leg injury genuinely makes it difficult. But Jenny won't take no for an answer, and he eventually gives in. Soon the group arrives at the main street. Sure enough, just as Sheriff described, completely deserted. Yubin hadn't fully believed it until now. Seeing it with his own eyes, he lets out a slow breath of relief. Sheriff turns to Jenny, "Which store do we start with?" Jenny looks around and settles on a clothing store. Without a word, Sheriff hurls a brick at the window and shatters it clean. Everyone piles in and starts rummaging for anything worth wearing. Jenny picks out a loud, colorful shirt for Sheriff. Sheriff lights up with joy and vows to pass it down as a family heirloom. Sam Sick cuts in with a smirk, "That doesn't suit you at all. Stick to black." While they tease each other, Jenny slips outside to find Yubin, who's keeping watch. She makes a request. She wants to check out the lingerie store across the street. Yubin blinks. "Jenny, that's a lingerie store." Jenny throws an arm around him. "Exactly, Oppa. You all need fresh underwear too, don't you?" As she speaks, Yubin gives a self-conscious glance at Sheriff behind him. He knows Sheriff has feelings for Jenny. If he takes one more step forward, that's a line he can't uncross. So he gently pushes her away. "Jenny, my leg is in no shape for that. It'd be dangerous. I'm sorry." Jenny's eyes go wide, a storm of thoughts rushing through her, but she can't let it show. She turns away and says she wants to look at more clothes. Yubin closes his eyes, unable to watch her walk away. He tells himself this is for the best, keeping the distance, holding the line. The scene shifts back to Jinyu. Lieutenant Park has assembled every available soldier and is ready to move out toward the mall. Jinyu's squad is part of this operation, but after the last fight, everyone is running low on ammo. Sergeant Lee raises his hand. "Sir, we're low on ammunition. The machine gun magazines are completely spent." The lieutenant asks what happened. Sergeant Lee answers straight, "We took out around 100 zombies." Lieutenant Park scoffs and jerks a finger at the squad behind Sergeant Lee. "You're joking, 100 zombies with that squad?" Lee doesn't back down. "Didn't you hear the gunfire? Hearing shots doesn't mean hitting anything. Are you sure you didn't burn through all your ammo taking out 10? It's not an exact count, but based on experience, that's roughly what it was." Lieutenant Park stares him down. "Laughable, what experience do you have?" The repeated provocations push Jinyu to his limit. Sergeant Lee holds his ground and fires back. "If you've ever tried killing over 1,000 zombies yourself, you'd understand." Stunned that a sergeant would talk back, Lieutenant Park kicks him hard in the shin. "You little punk, you dare talk back to a superior? Are you looking to die?" Seeing things escalate, the lieutenant steps in quickly. "Park, he's under my command. I'll handle his discipline." Lieutenant Park doesn't want to cross a senior officer. He turns and walks away. The lieutenant sighs and points a finger at Lee, giving him a proper earful. Then his expression softens into a smile. "Well done. You didn't embarrass the tank company. I'll get you reserve ammunition. Fight at full strength, like you did at the gas station. By the way, your leg, is it really okay?" Lee pats it. "Didn't even feel it." The lieutenant grins. "Don't play tough. When you're back, file a report. If anyone asks about the injury, hand it in." He claps Sergeant Lee on the shoulder, then turns and walks off. Shortly after, Jinyu's squad gets their reserve ammunition. The operation officially begins. Tanks push forward first, infantry follows close behind. Corporal Kim watches the lieutenant working the machine gun and grins. "Looks like our lieutenant wants to put on a show for the 707th. The good mood doesn't last. Zombies pour in from every direction as if dropping from the sky. Caught completely off guard, everyone opens fire. This is no scale 3, calling it scale 4 would be putting it lightly. Lee reads the situation immediately. "Everyone into the alley. Standing here, we're sitting targets." Jinyu follows the order and picks off zombies spilling from the alley entrance. Once the path is clear, they charge in together. As they navigate the alley, a figure suddenly appears at the rear. The figure snaps to attention. "Private 2nd Class Song Jae-soo reporting in." Corporal Kim stares blankly. "What unit are you with? Why are you here?" "I'm with the City Hall Defense Unit, sir. Got separated from my squad and followed your group." Hearing he's from City Hall, Corporal Kim's expression darkens. "Your report was garbage. This is nowhere near scale 3. Private Seong scrambles to explain. "Sir, it was scale 3 yesterday, but this morning a new horde arrived from somewhere. It's jumped to scale 4. Sergeant Lee tells Corporal Kim to cool it, then waves for Private Seong to fall in with the squad. Shortly after, the squad loses track of exactly where they are, and the zombies just keep multiplying. They pour in from every side. The squad splits into 4 directions and fires in all of them at once. Somehow Corporal Kim ends up covering an entire side by himself. He starts to panic. His shot goes wide, straight into a billboard. Jinyu is about to turn around and back him up, when a massive crash rings out and the billboard comes crashing down. It lands dead on, flattening the charging zombies. Jin-Yu is left completely in awe. Since when did Corporal Kim get this good? Private Song can barely contain his excitement and praises Corporal Kim without holding back. Corporal Kim has stunned himself, but he lets out a laugh and plays along. Keep it up, kid, and you'll be pulling moves like that yourself once you make Corporal. A chorus of snarls erupts nearby. The zombies are far from finished. More keep closing in. Jin-Yu shouts, Corporal Kim, we move now. Take the gap. Corporal Kim nods. In one unified push, they break through and charge toward the mall. Moments later, the squad takes cover in a car wash next to the mall and holds position. Because the entrance is crawling with zombies, Jin-Yu is still working out how to approach it when a gunship appears overhead. The special forces have arrived. The helicopters rake the ground below with sustained fire. Sergeant Lee sees the opening and leads the squad charging forward. They breach the mall in no time. Inside, it's pitch black. No one lets their guard down for a second. Flashlights are on, but it takes time for eyes to adjust. Jin-Yu feels a chill crawl up his spine. He can't shake the feeling that somewhere in this darkness something is waiting. But the mission comes first. They quickly map out their route. Jin-Yu figures the lieutenant's target must be the food section in the basement level. Lee nods, same thought. They reach the elevator and hesitate. The basement isn't like the ground floor. There's no easy exit. If zombies come, there's nowhere to run. Then footsteps sound from above. Jin-Yu and Corporal Kim spin around with weapons raised. It's the 707th. They made it inside too. Lieutenant Park sweeps his flashlight over the faces and his expression turns flat. It's you. So that business about killing over 1,000, not just talk after all. Still got a full squad? As he speaks, Park reaches out and pinches Sergeant Lee's cheek. Sergeant Lee doesn't know how to react. Yes, sir. All right. Whether it's skill or luck, you've made it this far, but tighten up from here on. Because down there, that's their territory. You sure you're coming? Lee doesn't flinch. We'll take the front. Park says nothing more and leads the 707th down ahead of them. They reach the lower level and stop. A barricade of stacked rubble blocks the way. The lieutenant orders his men to blast it open with a grenade launcher. This thing is the very reason zombies are infesting the basement. A thunderous boom. The barrier is obliterated. Private Jong jumps back. Damn, that thing is powerful. The shock fades fast. They push forward and immediately run into a cluster of zombies. They're cut down under a quick burst of fire. Then, several zombies in camouflage appear from behind. A closer look reveals smoke grenades strapped to their bodies. Jin-Yu's stomach drops. He opens his mouth to shout, too late. A bullet punches straight through one of the grenades. Smoke swallows everything. In a space that was already dark, visibility drops to nothing. Lieutenant Park reads the situation instantly and shouts the order, everyone fall back now. The squad doesn't hesitate for a second and bolts for the exit. But no matter how fast they run, zombies are faster. Jin-Yu tracks them by sound and instinct alone. 2 shots, 2 hits. Sergeant Lee slaps him on the back and barks, keep moving, fall behind and it's over. The words barely leave his mouth before 2 agonized screams cut through the smoke. Lieutenant Park moves fast. He racks his shotgun and fires in one fluid motion. The blast tears the zombies apart on the spot. One of the pellets finds a liquor bottle behind the zombies. The spark catches. The alcohol ignites. An explosion follows immediately. Using the chaos as cover, everyone sprints out without slowing down. They reach the meat section. The stench of rotting flesh is overwhelming. Brutal on the nose, but the smoke is thinner here. Suddenly Jin-Yu's instincts flare. He drops low and raises his weapon. Several zombies are bearing down on Private Choi, Corporal Kim, and the others. Jin-Yu shouts, Choi, get down! All 3 hit the floor. Jin-Yu fires. Every shot lands. Lieutenant Park catches the whole thing. He's stunned. With that kind of accuracy, is this guy really just a private? The scattered members rejoin the group. Sergeant Lee orders everyone to regroup and keep pushing. With the whole squad providing cover fire, Jin-Yu is about to take down the last zombie, but Lieutenant Park stops him. Hold your fire. No damage to the body. Jin-Yu is confused, about to ask what that means, but Park steps forward and handles it himself. After the shot, Lieutenant Park crouches and rifles through the body, searching for something. A moment later, a key appears in his hand. He turns around and gives the group a rare smile, his eyes lit with satisfaction. He thumps Sergeant Lee on the chest with a fist. You punk, so you've been riding on your private's coattails this whole time. Then he turns to Jin-Yu. You're good. Jin-Yu glances at him and says nothing. Lieutenant Park announces, mission complete. The objective has been recovered. All units, withdraw. Jin-Yu looks back at the bodies consumed by the growing flames. Something bitter settles in his chest. Days later, Jin-Yu looks back on that moment. He had believed that once the objective was recovered, the nightmare would be over. He was wrong. Catastrophically wrong. The Samchok power plant has fallen. Corporal Kim used himself as bait to lure a massive horde away. His fate is unknown. Private Jong fought to the very end and chose to go down with the zombies. Private Choi is gravely wounded, barely clinging to life. Sergeant Lee and Jin-Yu carry Private Choi and run for their lives, but there's no escape. In the end, Jin-Yu gives his only chance at survival to Sergeant Lee and Private Choi. He stays behind to buy them time. Surrounded by zombies